to convert animal consciousness into human consciousness and human consciousness into godly consciousness. So remember three: animal consciousness, human consciousness, godly consciousness. Yesterday we discussed, I think, something about being human. So being human means being considerate, knowing what others, Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, Chanakya Pandit's three criteria for a learned person. So third one talks about he sees others, he treats others the way he wants to be treated. So one should be sensitive to others, one should be kind to others, one should be helping others. So that is human consciousness. But then there also, they just we are helping others on their to their gross body, to some extent to their subtle body. But what about Krishna, who is maintainer of everyone? So about him it is not there. So from human consciousness also one has to go to godly consciousness, being servant of Krishna, surrendering to him, Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. etc. So animal consciousness to human consciousness, human consciousness to godly consciousness. So this is the purpose of Varnashram Dharma. Somebody who is in animalistic propensities and all that. So Varnashram, if he follows, whichever ashram he is in, or whichever Varna he is in, so if he follows that Varnashram principles, he will first come to human consciousness. Basically, if he gives up the four regulative principles, means he follows the four regulative principles of no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication, then he will be immediately a human being. And from there, he is only saying no, 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 no. But what about yes? Yes is to what? There's no yes in one sense. Okay, yes maybe for taking, I will help the blind man to cross the road. I will give the hungry fellow some food, thirsty fellow some water. But that is still human consciousness only. The divine consciousness, divinity has not yet entered. So for that, one has to be serving God also. That is the purpose of Varnashram Dharma. I need that, what is that? Subodhi. Akashvani. Yeah, 31st is mixed with this only. Though the Lord is beyond the gunas, he possesses qualities, great qualities, which are spiritual, beyond matter, arising from not disappear. That is all about quality only. Thus the pastimes, the participants in the pastimes, the places of the pastimes, and all ingredients are eternal. Okay. Hmm? Hmm. In the present age, consideration of the necessary qualification is being neglected, and a false birthright claim is being supported even by a popular sophisticated poet, the author of Ramcharitmanas. I'm not sure. I have not read personally Ramcharitmanas, so I can't comment. Anybody knows? Anybody has read Ramcharitmanas? No. Hmm. So we have to see in which context he says, in case he does say that. Hmm. But it's very huge, no? Whole Ramayana. So we don't know where it is written, and nobody remembers. Nobody has read. Hardly anybody has read a little bit. So we can't comment about something which we don't know. That is all okay. But we cannot answer this question. How many of you have read Ramcharitmanas? Nobody. He has read little bit, but he doesn't remember, isn't it? So we cannot discuss that thing which you don't know, isn't it? Like if I ask you Romania, where is Romania? Let us have discussion. Anybody knows Romania? First of all, I'm not sure whether that place exists or not, Romania. Maybe there is a place. So nobody knows, so we cannot discuss only. If at all we have a GPS or something, we can find out there. Isn't it? We will ask some expert, maybe Godakesh Prabhu or somebody. Maharaj is here. His Holiness Prabodhan Saraswati Maharaj. He can be asked. At least I can't comment because I don't know only. We should read Prabhupada books first, and then our Acharya's books second. And that is itself, that will take many lifetimes to complete all this. Yes or not? How many of you read all the books of Srila Prabhupada? So this is the first thing. And then next is Acharya's books. So many. I have made list of Acharya's books, 70 books. Bhanu Maharaj has translated. From that 70 books, he has translated more than 160. So 70 books I want to read. Of that, 4 5 I have read from last whatever few months or 1 or 2 years. So that list gets over 70. Then there are so many more books. 90 books are anyway there. And by the time I read all these 170, Maharaj would have translated 100 more, 1000 more. So this is our first thing, because this is our parampara. Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. You want to go to Golok Vrindavan or you want to go to Ayodhya Dham, Saket Dham? Where? Huh. So then for Golok, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya is taking you go to Golok Vrindavan. And Chinnavadip Dham, which is section of Golok only. So to read these books first. Then afterwards we can read. Sometimes for giving class somewhere here and there, we may refer to Ramayana. Otherwise, we have to be chaste to our parampara. Otherwise, you can keep reading Sri Sampradayas. They are all bona fide only. Ramanacharya, so many commentaries and so many things are there. But that is none of our business. First, we have to. How many of you have heard the book Chamatkar Chandrika? Raise your hand. Have you read? So, Sri Chaitanya Chandramrut. Read? Prema Vivarta. Read? I'm reading currently. So many things are there. So this, when will you read this? This is very important. Prema Vivarta only says that, what is that? Krishna boli sahi jeev bhogavancha kare, nikatastha maya thare, japatya dhare. That is not from Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is from this Prema Vivarta. So we have to read all these books first, isn't it? Or if you have blessings of your guru or senior devotee guiding you, you may read some other books also. Once when I was in charge for Warangal Voice, so Rajeshambu said, "Hey, you are a leader." I had the name project manager, and I think Mandali Badarpu had the name acting manager, something like that, PMAM, something. I don't know whether these terms exist now or not, but she said, "You are a leader here, so you should know how to manage. So for that, you should read the book, Seven Habits of what highly effective people by Stephen Covey." I said, "I don't have that book." He said, "I will give you a copy." So he had the photocopy. So he gave me spiral bound. So you read it, so you will know how a leader should behave and all that. So I read up to 60% around, and then I understood the crux of the whole thing. Then I did not read the remaining 40% because I understood what a leader means. So why to read the remaining 40%? You understand? Don't think that I did not follow his order. I understood what it is, and I understood I am not there. I have to reach there. Basically, I understood you have to become pure devotee. Pure devotee has all the good qualities. So all these managerial, whatever he's explaining there, they all will come if I become pure devotee. So I started endeavoring in the direction of becoming a pure devotee, which has not yet reached. By your blessing, sometime I will reach in this life. Okay. So 32nd and 33rd, she says, Lakshmi is the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers, and engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. I was endowed with specific powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems by being decorated with the impressions of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant driving rod, and lotus flower, which are signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me. In the purport proposes, the beauty and opulence of the world can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord and not by any man-made planning. The beauty of the world, like all our industry and all, is it increasing the beauty? All the trees are becoming more beautiful than their natural existence. I was in our what is that, Tata Nagar, Jamshedpur. So there the Tata plant is there, no? Jamshedpur, that Jamshedji Tata. Yeah, how many of you seen? So huge plant, and it's on kind of on the hill, kind of. Means it stands above the city. So much pollution there. because that take out iron maybe and they purify, make steel, whatever they make. So you can clearly see the train going. That what do you call that? Not normal train. Which is that? Goods carrier kind of. So it brings that molten, huh? Malgadi. But not that box one, the circular liquid carrying one. So it carries some kind of thing, and then it pours hot molten iron, which they have already used. Maybe they throw it, dump it, and whole city is more or less black only. Where I was staying, it was all black. Any wall you can see, the wall color you can see, but on that black suit or whatever, that kind of thing. Uh, so man-made planning and his industry, is it making the nature more beautiful? Mhm. Is it increasing the opulence of the world? By all this industrialization, what have we achieved? No pure water, no fresh air, no peaceful atmosphere, so much of noise like that. So this is not going to work. Little ahead, Prabhupada says, one may ask how we detain the Supreme Lord on this earth after his mission is fulfilled and he has left this earth for his own abode. Somebody may say that Lord should remain here only. He came here, no, for our deliverance. So he should not go now. He should remain here only. So can we detain the Lord after his mission is fulfilled? The answer is that there is no need to detain the Lord. The Lord, being omnipresent, can be present with us if we want him at all. He'll be present with us if we want. Now we can have immediately Krishna here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Both. He came with Radharani also. Radha Krishna. They came so many times. Hare, Radharani dances, takes a high jump. And when you say Krishna, Krishna takes a jump. So when Prabhupada writes in 12.8 Bhagavad Gita purport that when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Krishna and his internal potency are dancing on the tongue of the chanter. So just imagine, on our tongue only Radha Krishna are dancing. We dance for them in Mangalarti, and then when you sit down and start chanting, then they are dancing on your tongue. So your tongue becomes Rasa Mandala. Because where do Radha Krishna dance? Generally in the that Rasa Mandal. So just see, our tongue is Rasamandal, ready-made all time. Why to go to Vrindavan? And if you go there, you will see something else only. But here itself. Anyway, you may say that I don't see my tongue. Then you go in front of the mirror and chant Hare Krishna, Hare, and then see they are done. If you don't see, that means you have not developed Premanjana Churita Chakshu. For sure. All that pride that we carry, that I'm a great devotee, I'm a great preacher, that will be all spoiled, that will be all destroyed by seeing that in the mirror also you are not able to see that Radha Krishna are dancing on the tongue. So no need. Lord knows everything, what to do, what not to do. Towards the end of the purport, he says, the offenseless chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious as the Lord himself. And the moment of pure devotees of the Lord all over the world can at once change the troublesome face of the world. These things I say, if you want, you can highlight, underline, if you feel. Otherwise, no need. First, you have to get it where it is, because I just go. I will leave many lines and I will go. But I do mention a little bit where it is, kind of. So we need offenseless chanters. If we have a bunch of them, or even one of them, he can create revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. That Tadva Visargo जनताग विप्लवो यस्मिन् प्रतिश्लोकमबध्यवत्यपि नमान्यनन्तस्य यशोऽयङ्कितान्यत् शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति साधवा. This may be for memorization, I believe. 22 shlokas are there for first canto. Same MIH pattern remains the same, it seems, because I underwent first canto in 2013 in Tirupati as a part of our eyelids seminars. So now also it seems the same things are there. Those marks are, yeah, they are considering for my current Bhakti Vaibhav. So first canto was over there, and then second canto onwards here. So we just need offenseless chanters. That's it. We don't have to have hundreds of people creating problems. So yesterday I already said His Holiness Bhanu Maharaj's statement that how not only becoming good better, but the best is to teach others how to chant purely rather than, means that is good. Just ourselves chanting once purely or constantly we are chanting pure holy name only. But the best is to make or teach others how to chant purely. Prabhupada said, I wrote these books for inspiring all the people of the world to chant Hare Krishna. So if you want to chant Hare Krishna very nicely, you should read Prabhupada books, ideally daily 2 hours minimum. Then you will see clearly how your chanting improves. Just see, do an experiment for 1 or 2 months and see how chanting improves. Yes.
Help others to chant purely. So what does exactly mean? Means we may help them to chant purely, but they may not chant purely.
That you don't have to worry. Ma paleshu, what? Ma paleshu karmanne vadhikaraste. Ma paleshu. Don't be attached to the fruits of your action. You perform the action. Na?
Okay.
Simple. As simple as that. So while living in this world, we preach to hundreds and thousands and millions. And whether everybody comes with us to Golok Vrindavan or not, that is none of your businesses. You go back home back to God. You'll go back home back to God. You don't have to worry.
That case, should we think that there is something lacking in me so that the person
that humility should always be there.
Yeah.
Then only you can first chant purely once first, and then constantly, and then the highest level is you can teach others.
For example,
You should never think high of ourselves.
If while chanting, I don't sleep, for example.
That is
So
not the gain.
I expect that others should.
But by not sleeping, you may become proud. And you may think, "Hey, all others are sleeping. I'm the only fellow who is awake." So what you gain is wakefulness. You don't get Krishna through this.
No, that's not the point. I am saying that, for example, I tried some ways or other. I found out some ways how to stay awake while chanting. So I am guiding other devotees also. So how they can stay awake, but still they are sleeping. So
continue trying till your last breath. And in case you take birth in next body, continue the same thing.
Okay.
Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahaitu twai. I want to just serve you throughout life after life after life. So we have to continue.
Okay.
Don't get tired. If you get tired, you come to me. Okay. 30. Okay. Here what he says. This is 33rd. Though Brahma and others have surrendered to the Lord for a long time, Bahu Titham, being devotees with material desires, they desire the glance of Lakshmi. They desire the glance. But here he says, even Lakshmi, she will come to that point in 35th. Then we'll discuss. 34th. O personality of religion, I was greatly overburdened by the undue military phalanxes arranged by atheistic kings, and I was relieved by the grace of the personality of Godhead. Similarly, you were also in a distressed condition, weakened in your standing strength, and thus he also incarnated by his internal energy in the family of the Yadus to relieve you. So how Lord has helped both of us. So it is said that Earth doesn't feel the burden of huge mountains on her body or huge rivers and so many other skyscraper building and maybe whatever you call billions of people staying on her surface. But she cannot tolerate even one liar. Not lawyer, liar. So even one liar she cannot tolerate. That becomes too much of a burden for her. And here, so many times it does happen. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati. That's why Krishna is saying that. Then he appears. So many people, demonic people, they overburden the surface of Earth's body. And that happens time and time again. That's why Lord has to appear again and again. But she says that he came and he relieved me from that burden. And similarly for you also, he relieved you also from your weakened condition and all that. So Lord does that again and again. So she is grateful. Surpassing the three worlds, I became most beautiful. After attaining glory from the Lord, after that glory had vanished, I still had inner pride, thinking Vaikuntha is not equal to me. Because in Vaikuntha, Narayan stays, but on me, Lord Krishna stays. So, in one sense, some kind of pride. So, she is taking a humble role. So, because of that pride, Krishna did not tolerate. So, then he left me. Then I'm bereft. And that is the next 35th sloka, which is famous. It's very good. You can repeat after me. कावासहेत विरहं पुरुषोत्तमस्य प्रेमावलोकरुचिरस्मितवल्गुजल्पैः स्थैर्यं समानमहरन् मधुमानिनीनां रोमोत्सवो मम यदङ्घ्रिविटङ्कितायः. So this is Rasika shloka. There are two types of shlokas in Bhagavatam. Tattvik shlokas are there, which give philosophical understanding, and others are Rasika shlokas. So here also, in one sense, philosophy is there, but it's very relishable. She's speaking her heart. She is the consort of the Lord, Bhudevi. She only expands Satyabhama, etc. So she is speaking. Lover's heart is speaking. How I lost my beloved. And in that only description, so many other lovers are also coming. So translation is, who therefore can tolerate the pangs of separation from that supreme personality of Godhead? He could conquer the gravity and passionate wrath of his sweethearts like Satyabhama by his sweet smile of love, pleasing glance, and hearty appeals. When he traversed Earth's surface, means my surface, I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet, and thus would be sumptuously covered with grass, which appeared like hairs standing on me out of pleasure. So when that time when Krishna was present, when her hair would means the trees, plants growing, that was by materialistic people seen as that's a natural phenomenon. But that was not the case. She was in ecstasy. So all these things were flourishing, just like that. Romanchakampa Shrutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Mahaprabho Kirtana Nritya Gita Vaditramadyan Manasorasena. So, Vaditramadyan Manasorasena. So, what does that mean? Vaditra means what? Musical instruments. Aditra Madhyan. Madhyan is in center. Check. Many times we sing, but we don't know. Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita. In Mahaprabhu's, means about whatever glorification going on, dancing, singing, Gita. Many of the terms we don't know properly. Many times we keep saying sadhana, sadhana, sadhana. You see the word sadhan is there. Aditra is playing music. I'm saying Madhyan. Engladdened. The spiritual master is engladdened by these musical instruments which are played in Mahaprabhu's kirtan, and then he dances, he sings. It's very engladdening. That gives him gladness. So similarly, Mother Earth also, she's in ecstasy when Krishna walks over her. In that time when Krishna was present, every morning, means Krishna was there, he had expanded in Dwarka in 16,108 forms, so that each Krishna is available for each of the queens. And they were very happy. He gave them the feeling that he is only loving that particular queen. He is a henpecked husband. She would think, oh, he's so much mad after me. He never goes to other queens. I'm so special. So Krishna gives that feeling to each one of his queens. We cannot give that. Many of our devotees, they say, क्या प्रभु आप हमें टाइम ही नहीं दे रहे, उसको वो टाइम देते हैं, वो काउंसलिंग को हमें नहीं देते. So we are not having that position of Krishna, that omnipresent. So Krishna was omnipresent. So he was there for each queen. Every morning he would get up 4 o'clock when the cock would produce his sound, and then he would get up, take bath, and perform whatever yagya, dhan, tapa, all his sadhana. He would sit in meditation on himself, and then after taking breakfast or whatever, then 16,108 Krishna, they would come. Each Krishna would come out of the palace, and all the queens they are bidding farewell. Tata, Hare Krishna. So then Krishna comes, all 16,108, and they would become one Krishna. And then one Krishna would climb Daruk's chariot, and Daruk will drive him to Sudharma assembly of the Yadus. And Ugrasen is the king Krishna, but is having his position. He has a very special seat, Simhasan for him, made up of pearls, rubies, diamonds, etc. And then the hearing goes on, so many things, matters of the day. He would hear all that, and his advice would always be sought. He would do that daily duty. And then evening, whatever time, maybe 9 to 5, so 5 o'clock or something, Krishna would come back in the chariot driven by Daru. And then he would get down, again he would expand into 16,108 forms. And each Krishna would go to each of his queens. And all queens were very happy. Again, he came back to me only in the evening. He's not going to other queen. So they were very happy. So she's saying that this was the case. They were having that association. But then they did not have his association in the daytime because he was in Sudharma assembly. But I had the fortune of having Krishna's lotus feet on my body all throughout, 24 by 7. Nobody got that fortune as much as I got it. So that is her special position. Similarly, in Vrindavan also we see that early morning hours, Krishna is in the kunjas, groves of Vrindavan with Radharani and others case. But 3:36 he gets up in the morning, and then uh, he they get up, they're in the embrace of each other. So now separation, they have to go and all that. So then somehow they get up and they rush because they are told now very soon Yashoda Rani here and Kirtita Sundari there, Kirtita Mataji, she will get you. And they will find, hey, you are not there only in Nanda Bhavan and in Barsana. So you have to quickly rush. So they rush, and in the rushing, Krishna takes Radharani's garments, blue garment, and she takes Krishna's yellow garment, and they go somehow, and they go and sleep in their bed, pretending to be sleeping all throughout night. Nobody knows. ये अंदर की बात है बाहर वालों को पता नहीं है अब बाहर वाले कि अंदर वाले अंदर वाले हो जाइए. Anyway, so then the 6 o'clock here Krishna and their Radharani are woken up by their servants and maid servants. And then the bathing ceremony, all this is described by Kavi Karanapur in Krishnanika Kaumudi. How many of you have heard it, read it? Like that. What Krishna does 24 hours, 3:36 a.m. till 3:36 a.m. next day. 24 hours. Whatever he does, everything, all details are given. Our acharyas can see everything. They are empowered souls, or they are also there in their bodies. In Krishna Lila, they were present, so they can tell. So there also, Yashoda Mai, she's again in distress. Not only on Gopashtami day, as you know, how she followed Krishna for long distance, but even other days also she would follow him. And Krishna would say, Mother, please go back. Now I am going to forest to graze the cows. I'll come back in the evening. Don't worry. I'll come back before time also. Like that. So then he goes and he is with the friends of her boyfriend. They are very happy. And the gopis are lamenting. Yashodama is lamenting. In evening, he comes back, and then also there is a delay because as he starts coming back, Brahma, Shiva, and other demigods, they are ready to do arti for the Lord and all. So he feels awkward. How can I just, if imagine somebody is paying obeisances to you or something, and you just leave that place. That's not proper manners, etiquette. So Krishna's, and then here Yashodama is becoming frantic. What is this? Why is he coming late? So he tells the tallest gopi to go on the top of the Nanda Bhavan. There is a tower there, and she sees in the forest. And then she sees, okay, he's there at a distance, but then Brahma Shiva are worshipping. So she tells Yashodama, don't worry. He is on the way back, but he's being worshipped by demigods. So how can he just neglect them? So just very soon he will reach. Don't worry. She says, okay, then. And then he comes back, and then Yashodama is very happy. And then friends are very upset. What is this? Now we have to go to our own houses. So they don't want. In fact, once this Shridama, he said to his mother, "Mother, this is too much. I cannot separate. I cannot tolerate the separation from Krishna. I want to be with him. I'll go to Yashoda Bhavan." He said, "No, don't go. Now he's with Yashoda. Daytime you are there now with him. Why you are going?" He said, "No, I cannot bear the separation." She says, "Okay, don't worry. We'll arrange something." So she told Yashoda Rani that Shridama is saying like this, what to do. So, okay, we'll get the painting of Krishna done, and then that can be given to him, and then he can be happy that Krishna is with me. So, okay, who will paint? Chitra Saki, Chitra Lekha. So, she is expert in painting. So, she was sent message through one Dasi that you are being called by Yashoda Rani. So, she came rushing. Yashoda Rani has called. So, she came rushing, and then she was told, you have to draw Krishna's painting. So, then she said, oh, yes, service, very good. So, she sat, and Krishna is supposed to sit and she's supposed to paint. Mm. But then Krishna is very chanchal. He's looking here, he's looking there, and here, there. And she is not getting one posture of Krishna which she could paint. So she's wondering, what is this? She could not put the brush only on the canvas. So then she was frustrated what to do. Then she asked the other Sakhis, "Arey, what is this? I'm not able to start only." Then they asked, "Have you taken blessings of Radharani?" No, I did not. I did not think only because Yashoda Rani called. So I just came rushing, thinking that she's calling. She said, no, only she has the capacity to hold Krishna. Nobody else. So you need her blessing. So she immediately rushed and she took blessings of Radharani. She told, I want to, Yashoda, my wants. Okay, she said, okay, go ahead. And when she came back, again Krishna was restless only. No question of he becoming still or whatever. But she saw just one posture of Krishna and she could capture by the blessings of Radharani. And then seeing that posture in her heart, she painted Krishna's sketch very nicely. Because here to Krishna was continuing with his restless activity. And that picture photo with the frame and everything was gifted to Sridhama. And then Sridhama, he caught it and he would sleep on the bed by holding that painting of Krishna. Okay, I'm in the embrace of Krishna. I'm embracing my friend. And he would get him. And in the night, Krishna would leave Yashoda Bhavan, Ananda Bhavan. Then he will go to meet gopis in the forest. And whole night is in the kunjas only. He doesn't sleep in Nanda Bhavan. Though everybody thinks that he's in Nanda Bhavan. He's not there. He only pretends to sleep and everybody leaves. He moves out. Again, 3:36 morning, he gets up and comes. So there also in Vrajalila also we find that fortune was not there for everyone all the time. But there also Mother Earth was always having that Romotsava. Roma Utsav. It's a festival of hair standing on end. What a word it is, isn't it? Romotsava. Mayadangri Vitankitayaha. Each word can be elaborated upon. But basically the essence is Kava Saheta Viraham. Who can tolerate these pangs of separation from Lord Purushottam? Premavaloka Ruchira Smitavalgu Jalpai. This his sweethearts. Each one of them 16,108 queens, all beauty queens, amazing, most beautiful, opulent, very expert in cooking and all arts. And they are the finest of the fine ladies in the creation. Krishna's voice. Radharani's expansions. Radharani expands into three forms. One is millions of gopis in Vrindavan, then 16,808 wives in Dwarka. And wherever Krishna expands as Ram, Nrsimha, Varaha, Vaman in Vaikuntha Loka, there Radharani expands as the respective Lakshmi consort of that Lord. So here he could conquer the gravity and passionate wrath of his sweetheart. So gravity was there with Rukmini, and passionate wrath and Satyabhama. Satyabhama would also have gravity sometimes. By his three things, by his sweet smile of love, just by smiling only. Just like in Kaliya Daman also, Balram shows that when Krishna was in the coils of Kaliya, in the midst of Yamuna river, and such a deadly situation, Nanda Maharaj, Yashodamai, and all the cowherd boys, and everybody's frantic. So some of the cowherd men, they wanted to rush. Yashodamai fainted only, but these others who were awake, they thought we'll rush and take Krishna out of the coils of this Kaliya. Like that. But they cannot go inside. And Kaliya is very powerful. They are no match with Kaliya. And Krishna alone is sufficient to take care of Kaliya. So there's no need of these cowherd men. This Balram knows, is Adi Guru. So he captured them. Some he captured physically, some with sweet words he restricted them, and some just with by his glance only. He did not allow them to proceed further. Balramji is very powerful. He's Krishna's first expansion only. So just by his sweet smile of love, and secondly by pleasing glance, pleasing glance, just sidelong glance of Krishna also. What do you call prema kataksha? Gaurang Mahaprabhu has karunya kataksha, and Krishna has prema kataksha. Pleasing glance and hearty appeals. He will heartily appeal them. So that's how he kind of controlled or conquered all his queens. But now that Lord has left, so she is feeling separation. Madhumani Ninam means Satyabhama and others. He took away their steadiness, thairyam, and pride, samanam, sa, manam. Vitankitayaha means ornamented. Among all the dear women, I was always independent. Such a woman is called Swadhina Bhratruka and was never separate from him, since his feet always touched me. That is the meaning of this verse. Yes. So in the category, women category, there are several categories of women, Pragalbha and many things like that. So Madhyama, many types are there. These are all described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai. These discussions come. I think during Ratha Yatra, when Lakshmi, Hera Panchami day maybe, when Lakshmi comes and beats the servants of Lord Jagannath and kind of breaks the cart. So then Mahaprabhu having a hearty laugh. Hey, why she is so angry and all that. So then he asks Swarup Damodar, maybe Ramanand Rai or Swarup Damodar, could you please describe? There's a lot of jovial talks because our Srivas, who is Narad, is worshipper of Lakshmi. So he glorifies Lakshmi, whereas Swarup Damodar or Ramananda, they are Radharani's side. So they are glorifying Radharani. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks, who is superior and all that. So a lot of discussion about types of women. So there it comes. So this is Swadhina Bhratruka. Bhratruka. Okay. Last verse of this chapter. While the earth and the personality of religion were thus engaged in conversation, the saintly King Parikshit reached the shore of the Saraswati river, which flowed towards the east. Prachim means flowing east. Paschim, Prachim. Yes. Any question on this chapter? As such, we have been entertaining questions in the middle also, but in case. Yes.
This events which were happening, like we are reading from, like Krishna came, Pandavas arrive, and
Krishna came.
Like sorry, Parikshit Maharaj birth. Regarding that, before that, the sages were narrating about the Pandavas. They retired untimely, and before that, there were all these incidents which they are narrating now. So I was trying to know the flow, like.
Shukdev Goswami is in ecstasy. He is not necessarily going to speak everything in flow only. But not necessarily that way. Even in Krishna Lila in 10th canto, the pastimes are not described in sequence. That Jiva Goswami has done in Shri Gopal Champu. If you want to know exactly which pastime happened after which pastime, that is all in Shri Gopal Champu by Jiva Goswami. Here he goes in ecstasy, back and forth here and there.
And this when Arjuna was trying to help the queens of Dwarka, they were kidnapped by the coward men. So that
coward men.
So that happened after Krishna's departure.
Yeah, Krishna. He called Arjuna was there in Dwarka for 7 months. He stayed. So that's why here Yudhishthira Maharaj was concerned a little later. So then he called Arjun and he said, very soon I will leave this planet. And when I leave, 7 days later to that, this ocean will swell up and it will drown the whole Dwarka within its grip. So before that only, you take all my wives to safety. So Arjun takes them all and he brings them. But then on the way, they are kidnapped, etc. And then after Krishna departed, this we know the yesterday I think we had discussion. Then immediately Yudhishthir left Hastinapur to north. Mm. So then he was followed by Bhim, Arjun. So they all left their bodies also. Then Parikshit was made the king. Because he was the only descendant remaining. He ruled for some years. I don't know how many years. Pandavas after Mahabharata war ruled for some 36 years or so. After they left, he also ruled for some time. So when he was ruling, this is the thing. Especially when he came to know the symptoms of Kali are seen in the kingdom. Then he left. That discussion yesterday we had. And then he came across this sin and all that thing.
And one more thing, like you told, Janmejaya was killing all the snakes.
He was not killing. He had arranged the sacrifice. And he was arranging to get them killed.
So when Parikshit Maharaj died, Janmejaya was a small child. So after he got to know, and when he was young,
small is not very small. I don't know his age that time. Could be anything above 12 maybe. I'm not sure.
Because at that time, because in front of him his father is dying, if Parikshit is dying, at that time only he did that sacrifice of killing the snakes, or afterwards he did.
That I don't know when. That for that we have to read the commentary of Acharyas. I have read this in 12th canto. This is there in 12th canto. So, but Acharya's commentary I have not read, so I don't know. Vishwanath Thakur or some Acharya might have mentioned that this yagya was performed by Parikshit, whatever. Not Parikshit, Janmejaya, whenever. That Acharyas do here and there. All the details that way are not there in Bhagavatam. That's why Acharya's commentaries are helpful. We can know many things. Okay, so we'll go ahead with 17th chapter. Punishment and reward of Kali. First text at least we'll have repetition. Sutta uvacha tatra gomithunam raja anyamanam anathavat dandahastam cha vrushalam dadrushe nrupalanchanam. Sutta Goswami said, after reaching that place, Maharaj Parikshit observed that a lower caste Shudra, dressed like a king, was beating a cow and a bull with a club, as if they had no owner. So that place, Vishwanath Thakur saying, is Kurukshetra. This pastime happened in Kurukshetra. Here Vishwanath Thakur says, in the 17th chapter, the questions and answers between Parikshit and Dharma, and the punishment and mercy received by Kali are described. So two things. Question answer between Parikshit Dharma and punishment and mercy received by Kali. Anyamanam means beating. The Shudra wore the markings of a king, which broke the custom followed in Satya, Treta and Dwapar Yuga. The kings would never beat the cow or bull in Satya, Treta, Dwapar. This fellow was apparently looking like a king because he had worn the dress of a king. But the activity revealed that this is a very low class activity. Only a low class man can do this. Prabhupada is saying that the principal sign of the age of Kali is that lower caste Shudras, that is men without Brahminical culture and spiritual initiation, will be dressed like administrators or kings, and the principal business of such non-Kshatriya rulers will be to kill the innocent animals, especially the cows and bulls, who shall be unprotected by their masters, the bona fide Vaishyas, the mercantile community. Vaishyas are supposed to take care of cows. But unfortunately, the Shudras have become Vaishya's duty, and their business is get the cows slaughtered in organized slaughterhouses. The government, instead of becoming Kshatriyas, who are supposed to protect the cows, they are only sanctioning cow killing. Once I heard in Parliament there was a discussion, this was maybe long before, that when the cows are killed, their what do you call, the nerve is cut and all that. So much pain they undergo. So this is not good. So what is the solution? You should not give so much pain to the cow. So after silence, one person said, "We'll get automated machines from Western countries. They have so many machines like that. Then it will immediately cut, and then they will not have to suffer so much." And everybody said, "Good." So that was sanctioned. This kind of, this was long before maybe. So that is not the way. Second, the bull was as white as a white lotus flower. He was terrified of the Shudra who was beating him, and he was so afraid that he was standing on one leg, trembling and urinating. In the purport, Vishwanath Thakur says, Mehantam eva means as if urinating. This means that Dharma, standing on one leg, was at every moment flowing away. It is a metaphor to express a perishing condition. So he's urinating slowly. That means Dharma is flowing away, going away. It is a metaphor to express a perishing condition. Trembling of the bull indicated that the bull did not create an opposition to the actions of Kali. This is Dharmaraj. He can do many things. He's very powerful. But he's not doing that because he knows this is Kali Yuga. It's a time for Kali Yuga. So the Dharma will be going down only. Dharmasya Glani is the time. Third one. Although the cow is beneficial because one can draw religious principles from her, she was now rendered poor and calfless. Her legs were being beaten by a Shudra. There were tears in her eyes, and she was distressed and weak. She was hankering after some grass in the field. The pathetic condition of the cow. Now also, you can see cows are not so much cared for. Some cows like that, they don't have owners only, they're just loitering here and there. They're eating anything, everything, garbage or plastic and all that. Prabhupada wanted cow protection. In ISKCON, we have so many farm communities and there's so many cows, and they are being taken care of. Prabhupada, I think in West Virginia, New Vrindavan, he said, the cows are so happy there, especially Kalia was Prabhupada's favorite cow. She would give lot of milk. And Prabhupada told his devotees that the cows here are very happy. Why? Because they know the masters here are devotees and they will not kill us. So they are very blissful and they are giving so much of milk. The great rishis and munis would live only on milk. Yeah, the milk, glories of milk. It's a religion in liquid form is in the form of milk. That's why if you want to become very religious, we should drink cow's milk. It also develops finer tissues by which we can understand the intricate subject matters mentioned in the scriptures, which otherwise cannot be understood. Scriptures are very deep. Can't understand so easily. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya. Anyway, the real religious principles are very confidential. And apart from that, it is not so easy also. It's technical, like fifth canto. This planetary system is about this and this is there, that is there. Not becomes here our planets start rotating inside. Chakkar aake गिर जाएगा व्यक्ति. Not so easy. Anyway, our TOEP will show everything with what they call 3D show. So then third we read already. Here what he says, Dharma Dugham means giver of ghee for sacrifice. She, the earth, was without a calf, Vivatsam, because the grains, the child of the earth, had been destroyed. So grains are the child of the earth. She had tears in her eyes because of the destruction of Dharma. She was thin, Kshamam, because sacrifices were not performed. She desired the share of sacrifice, Yavasam. So Yavasam is described there as grass, if you take figuratively, earth as cow. So then grass she requires. So here it is, essentially it is the share of the sacrifice. Earth was not getting. So she became lean and thin. Fourth, Maharaj Parikshit, well equipped with arrows and bow, and seated on a gold embossed chariot, spoke to the Shudra with a deep voice sounding like thunder. Last line says, the dress or style of royal order does not count. It is one's actions which are counted. We say in our preaching, first dress, then address. So we should wear proper clothes, no doubt. But still, what is more important is actions. Your actions speak louder than your words. If I tell you, I love you. Oh, don't love us. Your love is horrible. My God. So the words are saying, I love you. But the way it is said, क्या ये आपका लव है क्या? नहीं नहीं, आपकी पास ही रखिए, हमें नहीं चाहिए ये लव. Too difficult to bear this love. So your actions speak louder than words, isn't it? So one should not be like that. One's actions matter more. Kartaswara means gold. He had his bow ready in case the Shudra had tried to flee. Parikshit was powerful ruler. Oh, who are you? You appear to be strong, and yet you dare kill within my protection those who are helpless. By your dress, you pose yourself to be a godly man, king, but by your deeds, you are opposing the principles of the twice born Kshatriyas. So after seeing this, Parikshit is saying, we forgot to see her. As such, you might be aware, but still. Here he says 1 to 16 is Maharaj Parikshit being an ideal king, appropriately chastises Kali. First 4 verses, king saw one Shudra beating a cow and bull. And 5, 6, Parikshit questioned the daring of Kali, which we are seeing now. Prabhupada says, in the age of Kali, everyone is unhappy due to the maladministration of the state. The modern human society is not twice born by spiritual culture. Therefore, the people's government by the people who are not twice born must be a government of Kali in which everyone is unhappy. This definition of democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. And all the people are Shudras or less than Shudras. So it's government of the Shudras, for the Shudras, by the Shudras. So that should not be the way. In the commentary, Vishwanath Thakur says, who are you to commit violence in my presence? I am a king, that person will say. Since I am the king, how can you be the king? Parikshit is asking. I am king because I am wearing the dress of a king and acting like one. No, you are a Shudra by your actions. A real actor imitates the actions of another as truly as possible. So if he was really a king, he should have shown the behavior of a king, which he is not showing. He is showing the behavior of a Shudra. He is beating cow and bull. Sixth one. You rogue, do you dare beat an innocent cow because Lord Krishna and Arjun, the carrier of the Gandhi vow, are out of sight? Since you are beating the innocent in a secluded place, you are considered a culprit and therefore deserve to be killed. This ideal king will never do. The question of beating the innocent in a secluded place. They would give punishment to the criminals right in public, in front of everyone. So the others also get a lesson. In a civilization where God is conspicuously banished and there is no devotee warrior like Arjun, the associates of the age of Kali take advantage of this lawless kingdom and arrange to kill innocent animals like the cow in a secluded slaughterhouses. That's why these PETA, people for ethical treatment of animals, they have to go hidingly there and shoot the scenes, whatever they're happening there. And sometimes they get caught and killed also. Very deadly. But they do. How many of you seen PETA movies? They are very ghastly as such. How the animals are treated in the treated means they are killed only, but even the treatment is also horrible. I don't want to describe here. Prabhupada somewhere says, I don't know where, but in one of the purport he says that as soon as the calf is born, in very short time only he is separated from the mother cow for the reasons which cannot be mentioned in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Something like that he says. Mm, horrible. One, what do you call that? Prime Minister or President of one country. For him, his everyday meal means the calf only, and that too, he should not be more than 3 days old calf, because then the skin is not, means the flesh is not so soft. So can you imagine what kind of heads of the state are there? Horrible. He takes only meat, and that too cow's meat, and not cow, calf only. And the calf also should not be more than 3 days old also. Though there are some other good ones also, like somewhere in Arabian country, I heard one of the top head of the country, he would sleep on the bare ground with some simple mat, etc. When he was austere. Even here we see Narendra Modi, he fasted for the inauguration or the installation of Lord Ram. So some good ones are there, but some others are so deadly. Here, Vishwan Chakra Thakur says, just as you are king of your country, I am king of this time. Kali Singh. Nonsense, yes. This is his time. He is the king of this time. Thus, you do not have power over me. The king answers in this verse, before Krishna departed out of sight with Arjun, where were you? I was present, but I did not have power because of fear of them. But I have fear of no one today. True, you are in a pitiable position. You desire to die today. The conversation is given by Vishnu Thakur. Seventh. Then Maharaj Parikshit asked the bull, oh, who are you? Are you a bull as white as a white lotus, or are you a demigod? You have lost 3 of your legs and are moving on only one. Are you some demigod causing us grief in the form of a bull? He wants to know. In one sense, it's true only. Bull, he's a demigod only. Who is he? Dharmaraj. Prabhupada says, at least up to the time of Maharaj Parikshit, no one could imagine the wretched conditions of the bull and the cow. What the sages of that time, they cannot imagine how the cows are treated in one sense. They know in one sense, but in another sense, they just can't imagine. We are used to, because we are born and brought up in such civilization. So we don't feel so much thing. Only by reading or hearing scriptures, then we feel, yeah, miss cows are not. Otherwise, if you see so many people are there, they are just very quite careless about the whole thing. Okay. There are some pious ones who do care, but in one sense, not so much anyway. Yeah. Hmm. Dharmaraj. Yamaraj is for taking care of the impious ones, and Dharmaraj is for those who are pious ones. They're like kind of, I don't know exact thing, but they're like that. Like Yamaraj came as Vidurji, but Dharmaraj came as Yudhishthir. From Dharma only came Yudhishthir. He only conceived child as Yudhishthir. Hmm. Seventh one, Vishnu Chakra Thakur says, let that be. I will think of your first offense for a moment. Thinking in this way, the king then inquired from the bull, are you some devta who has come to produce lamentation for us? I have not seen such thinness and suffering even in my dreams. So it's very painful for great souls, pious souls, to see the suffering of others. Especially if you see the society goes in a particular way, then like we are accustomed to seeing things in a particular. But when you see the what you call degradation in that, then you like somebody is very thin. You have seen, I think, in the movies and all this. So movies are we have some slides. African children who are not getting proper food, they're very lean and what they call malnutrition or some malnutrition. No? Very thin. How many of you seen? So when you see immediately it arouses compassion and that condition. Oh, like that. Once I was traveling from Pune to Hyderabad something. So train was more or less empty next day morning, 10:30. So the sweeper lady, sweeper means there's beggars, something like that. So she came and she sat next to me only, and her son was on her lap. And he was such a terrible condition, such a thin-bodied child. And I asked that Mataji, how what happened? Why he's so he appears little different only. She said, yeah, he is having malnutrition. I said, why is he like that? And she said, he was born only like that. So why is he born like that? So she said, when he was in my womb, my husband and I had some problem, something because they are from poor slum background. So I was not eating food only. So because of during pregnancy, she did not eat properly. The ladies are supposed to eat nicely so that not only they are nourished, their bodies are nourished, but the child within the womb is also nourished. But she did not, she fasted some days and she did not get proper food, something like that, some kind of family problems. So he was born only like this. So, my God, if you would have seen the condition of that child, you'll feel pathetic, very pathetic. So here he's saying that I have not seen such thinness and suffering even in my dreams. So naturally aroused compassion, and that will arouse compassion will be aroused in anyone's heart. What to speak of a ruler, ideal ruler like Parikshit. Eighth one. Now, for the first time in a kingdom well protected by the arms of the kings of the Kuru dynasty, I see you grieving with tears in your eyes. Up till now, no one on earth has ever shed tears because of royal negligence. What a high class rulers were there. That nobody on earth ever shed tears because of royal negligence. Even Duryodhana also, when he was so-called ruler, when Pandavas were in the forests and incognito, etc. So he ruled very nicely. Certainly he had his selfish agenda that I should rule very nicely and the citizens should be happy. So after Pandavas come, they will feel that better Duryodhana, he was taking care of us very nicely. But they were taking care, miss. That would be there with them. They may have their own selfish agendas and enmity with some top ruler, but they would take care of citizen nicely only. So in the Vishnu Chakra Thakur says, you may be a king, but we have become miserable now. The king then speaks with fiery pride. Except for your tears, tears have not fallen in the land which was well protected, parirambhite, by arms of punishment. Ninth one. O son of Surabhi, you need lament no longer now. There is no need to fear this low class Shudra. And O mother cow, as long as I am living as the ruler and subduer of all envious men, there is no cause for you to cry. Everything will be good for you. He's solacing them and assuring them, don't worry, I have come now. So it's like till now you are unprotected. Okay, whether you had a master or not, maybe master is not Modern technology enhancing the beauty and opulence, at least awakening, giving. He then spoke consoling words to the bull who was showing the weeping cow his miserable condition. O son of Surabhi, do not lament. Shuchaha for Shochaha. Do not have fear. I will kill him now. He then speaks to the cow. Mai Shastari means while I am living as the punisher, consoling, assuring them. So Krishna is called as Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya. Govindaya Namo Nama. Namo Brahmanya Deva. So Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. So first cow and then Brahmanas. People will become Brahmanas by drinking cow's milk. And then the whole world also. If the cows are taken care of, then the Brahmanas are taken care of. And when these two are taken care of, whole world will be taken care of also. Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya. Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya. Then 10th and 11th. O chaste one, the king's good name, duration of life, and good rebirth vanish when all kinds of living beings are terrified by miscreants in his kingdom. It is certainly the prime duty of the king to subdue first the sufferings of those who suffer. Therefore, I must kill this most wretched man because he is violent against other living beings. So he kind of reminds himself, to apparently telling others what are the duties of a king. So nobody should suffer in his what you call kingdom. Everybody born in his kingdom is his praja, not just human beings, but even the birds, animals, reptiles, as well as trees, plants, shrubs, everyone. That's why we see Shibi when that kind of testing was done for him. That the pigeon said that I am your citizen, you should take care of me, give me protection, and he gave protection. And when the eagle came, vulture came, he said, I am also your citizen only, na? I'm born in your kingdom only. I am not your praja. What about my food? I cannot eat vegetarian food. I need that. I said, okay, you want non-veg only, na? Flesh only, na? I will give you from my body only. As much as that pigeon weighs, that much I'll give. So he said, okay. That was the test, as you all know. And he passed the test. And when the no matter how much amount of flesh he was offering, the what do you call that part in which he was sitting, the vulture, that was always down, and this was up only. So he was wondering, so much flesh. This is more than double, triple, 4, 5 times of that kabutar, that pigeon. So then he only sat in that other what do you call part, the part of the balance. That means what? When he's alive only, the vulture can snatch, what do you call, scratch his body and take the flesh and keep eating. That's what it means. Yes or not? Not that he will kill himself and okay, now my dead body you can eat. No, alive only. What kind of sacrifice they would have? Ravishambu said once that one South Indian king, he went to jungle on his silver chariot, and then he found one creeper which had taken shelter of one tree, but the tree was short-heighted. So then the creeper afterwards the upper part of that creeper was like this because it had grown bigger than the tree, but the tree was not there to support that up. So it had fallen like that. So that would be very painful for that creeper upper portion. So this king very slowly took the chariot ahead, and that was tall chariot, and he took that upper portion of the creeper and put it around the chariot, gave support, and then he came back walking to the kingdom. You may say, "Arey, fool number one, arey silver chariot." Is this the way? That's why you are not the ruler. And he was the ruler. We are not fit rulers. We are too selfish, too materialistic calculations and all that. For him, that silver is what? Silver is dead thing. Living being, Jiva is more important, or the opulence of this world are more important? Jiva. That we are saying, but we have to act it out. In life, many times we may not select. So this is a butcher. You know that story. One sage, when he was passing through, so then he came across different personalities. So for Rajaputra, he said, Rajaputra, Chiranjiva, may you live long. Why? Huh? You are having so much sense gratification, and in which some sin happens. After you die, you will suffer. So better you don't die only. So you live for long time. Chiranjiva. And Muniputra, Mahajivaha. Means like a brahmachari. So much austerity. Tapasa brahmacharyena, shamena cha damena cha, tyagena satya sauchabhyam, yamena niyamena va. So brahmachari life means lot of tapasya. Supposed to be. You say, really, Prabhu? Tapasya? To be which brahmachari? Where does he stay? He stays in forest, not in ISKCON. ISKCON brahmachari is born and brought up in opulence. Like that. Marathi, there is a saying, Khain tar tupashi, naitar rahin upashi. If at all I eat, I will eat only in the ghee soaked items. Khain tar tupashi, nahitar rahin upashi. Otherwise, I will fast. Like that. So, we don't understand. So, Muniputra Mahajiva. And for Vaishnava, Jivova, Morova. Doesn't matter only. He, when he's living, he's not only perfecting his life, he's helping others to perfect their lives. And when he dies, he will go to Golokundam. He'll serve the Lord there. And for butcher, Mahajivaha, Mahamaraha. Don't live and don't die. Because if you live, what happens? You kill so many innocent creatures, animals, etc. And if you die, very ghastly, hellish planets, not just conditions. Hellish conditions are there now also, but hellish planets are waiting for him. So, like that. So here is this fellow, butcher. So in the purport, Prabhupada says, we read, no? Translation? 10th, 11th? Did I read? Yeah, I read, I think. Yes. So Kshatriyas are allowed to use violence. Others should not use it. They use it for proper purpose. For protecting these 5 weaklings of the society. The Brahmanas, cows, children, women, and old men. Prabhupada in purport says, first paragraph, towards the end, any living being who takes birth in a state has the primary right to live under the protection of the king. So praja means that. Next paragraph, any living being, if he terrifies other living beings, is a most wretched subject, and the king should at once kill such a disturbing element. We should not do that. Maybe I have done that before. Terrifying other living beings, terrifying other devotees. If we have the manager, department head, then we feel like I am the king only, and all others are my servants. And we shoot them, fire them, set fire to them, to their lives. So that should not be done. He's a disturbing element, and at once he should be killed. In ISKCON, we will not kill, but here, what he says. But if you kill him because of us, then we become implicated in killing. Who is saying? Maybe cow. Do not do that. So king replies, I must kill him for my benefit. It is not because of your request. Now, don't think that you are requesting that this is the one who is beating us. Please kill him. And then now they're saying, okay, but if you kill him, then we will be implicated in sinful activity. No, not on your account. I only going to kill him because I'm the ruler. I have to protect dharma. Okay, so we'll take a break for 15 minutes. Okay. Any question before that? Online? What is the question? How to see? Okay, you have the access. Read. After that, we'll take break.
Cow Sneha Bhujbal. Cow is a form of Mother Earth, bull is Dharma, and Kali is beating the cow. And that bull, which is the form of Dharma, is helplessly seeing the cow. So in this Kali Yuga, Kali, is it that Kali is more powerful than Dharma?
Not like that. Both are acting under the Supreme Lords. That will come little ahead. So Dharmaraj knows that this is a time for Kali. So by the order of the Lord only. Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. And Kali means the age of quarrel and hypocrisy and so many things, symptoms are told already. So these things will be prominent. So the demigods, other demigods will not interfere. They will not, they will allow. Because they know this is, that discussion is coming. Because so many questions are being asked, so many questions, answers, all this happening. So the bull will also speak. Then will this question will be answered. Any other? No, there's few challenges. Most of the time, it's all free life only. You tell me who all are facing, whether more devotees are feeling challenges from the outside forces. I'm talking. Inside, though, we have challenges of lust, pride, greed, but outside forces. So that is how much. What is the population of the devotees, and in connection with that, how many devotees are facing that kind of torture? Very few. So we can see in India, so it is like, you go anywhere, you're openly distributing books, Harinam, Sankirtan, street Sankirtan, Rath Yatras. We are booming like anything. Isn't it? ISKCON is becoming more and more famous. Everybody knows ISKCON, ISKCON, ISKCON. And people think also, ISKCON, rich. So that's why only works, we don't get much money. They are already rich. They are supplying money to America. So many things. These are not the facts, but isn't it? People know. And any function and all festival, they come to ISKCON temple. They know ISKCON is grand. Janmashtami, even Ramnavami, Nasing Chaturdashi, and even otherwise in general days also. So we have a lot of flourishing ground. This is the time when we should preach. If not, then when? Afterwards, it will be very terrible, horrible. Cannot even imagine. Okay, so we'll take a break for 15 minutes. Hare Krishna. 4 लिखा है, 1 घंटा लिखा। You begin. Time is up. Whenever your friends come, let them come. What? Oh, that you do yours. See, after 2 o'clock, I will go. You sit till 3, 4. No objection. Or in this 15 minutes, if you want to recite slokas, I don't have any objection. Okay, we'll begin. 11th, we discussed, no? 12th. Maharaj Parikshit repeatedly addressed and questioned the bull thus, O son of Surabhi, who has cut off your 3 legs? In the state of the kings who are obedient to the laws of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, there is no one as unhappy as you. In the purport, Prabhupada says, the kings should know the courts of Lord Krishna as given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. One who knows the courts of Lord Krishna can achieve this end without any difficulty. That is mission of human life, to make an end of all miseries of mortal conditions. One who knows the courts of Lord Krishna can achieve this end without any difficulty. In the Bhagavad Gita, in a synopsis, we can understand the courts of Godhead, and in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the same courts are explained further. When Krishna was personally present, the courts of Krishna were being followed without question. But in his absence, such courts are presented in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam for the guidance of the blind persons who happen to be at the helm of all affairs. Helm means, at the helm means in control. Top leaders who don't know now, Krishna is not personally present to guide. So then, Dharma Jnana Divi Saha, Krishna Swadham Upagate, Dharma Jnana Divi Saha, Kalo Nashta Drushamesha, Puranarako Adhunaditaha. When Krishna left for his Vaikuntha world with knowledge and religion, the whole world was put into darkness of ignorance. In order to guide them, again Krishna appeared in the form of brilliant sun, in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that everybody could know the courts of Krishna by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Just like for human beings, Manu Samhita is given by Swayambhu Manu. How should human beings behave? So how should a jiva behave in order to reach perfection, the mission of human life, putting an end to all the troubles of life? He should read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Krishna has given everything in these 2 books. 13th. O bull, you are offenseless and thoroughly honest. Therefore, I wish all good to you. Please tell me of the perpetrator of these mutilations which blackmail the reputation of the sons of Prutha. Perpetrator means criminal, one who inflicts pain, crime on others. And mutilations means deprived of a limb, etc. Mutilating, which blackmail the reputation of the sons of Prutha, means which threaten the reputation. Pandavas never behaved like this. Pandavas were ideal leaders, and they were doing. Yesterday I told, I think, as a part of Mahabharata. Here I told, or where I told, that when Draupadi was with Yudhishthir, Here only we told, no? So there Arjun was in a fix what to do. But he thought, I can get banished, no problem, for 1 year. But the cows and the Brahman should be protected. So he went inside and he protected. So they gave full protection. Similarly, when they were in Virat king's kingdom also, that time also, when Kauravas attacked, what they did? They took away all the cattle, hundreds and thousands of cows, like that. And the Pandavas went to protect, especially Arjun, protected them. In the purport proposed, the bull and the cow are the symbols of the most offenseless living beings, because even the stool and urine of these animals are utilized to benefit human society. Very amazing animal, cow. Everything coming from her body is useful in so many powerful ways. Many big diseases can be cured, not just from the things come out of cow, but even by just by massaging a cow, like this. You just put your hand, which one goes away? BP goes down. See, BP goes down, blood pressure, which has become too high, just by putting your hand like this on cow for 10 $10 for just touching the cow in US. Because there are no cows there, I think. They make profit. Can you imagine $10 in Indian rupees? 800. 800 rupees for here our cows are readily available. Anybody can go and put hand. Similarly, one man, one youngster, he was a crazy, mad fellow. You have seen on the roads some crazy fellows are there. So he was crazy and they do like this, they do all that kind of crazy only, mad fellow. So another man, he saw him. What he would do, he would take this crazy fellow. They have no one. All relatives have abandoned such people because they are crazy. Mm. So then he took up this, took care of this. He brought him. He took him to his place. He gave him nice bath because they don't bathe also. Very dirty clothes, torn clothes, and bodies also. So he gave nice bath to him, gave him somewhat new clothes, and then service for that boy is he would get food and everything with this person. He has to just take care of the cows. After 6 months, this mad boy or young youth, he became very normal, proper boy. Madness is gone because of just taking care of cows. And he did it for many. So unfortunately, after 6 months, the parents came to know that our son is behaving properly and he's with this fellow. Somehow they came to know. So they came, hey, yeah, he's our son, we want him back. So that person cannot claim, no, because it's not like he has not given birth to that. He says, better let him be here. He requested because staying indirectly he conveyed, staying with you, he became mad. Means in a decent language, I don't know what language he spoke, but he listened. And here he improved and all that. But they said, no, we want him, we want him. So then he could say no, nothing. So then they took him away. And sure enough, after some months, he must have gone mad because these are mad fellows. Like, so just by being with mother cow, see how much in goodness, peacefully. Just see, watch a cow sitting or standing. Peaceful. Brahmacharis may not be so peaceful. I'm like, so restless. So should sit in that cow shed there. Just sit on that ground because she walks all over the place. Just by sitting on that ground, some vibrations of what you call peace will enter in our existence and will become peaceful. Cool down. In one voice, I would go in Bangalore, Miss Bangalore, outing. Prabhus, Hare Krishna, Prabhus, please, cool down. So they would wonder why Prabhu is pulling this. No, I purposefully do that. Not that, please cool down. Please, Prabhus, cool down. That itself cooled down. Yeah. So, because in big city, metropolitan city like Bangalore and also, one of the top leaders, OC there, I asked him, because I wanted to sleep in the night. I said, where is the east direction? And that was like the unknown question for him for whole life, East. You are wondering here, you are looking here, and then I understood this fellow doesn't know. He said, I will ask somebody else, some other devotee. And nobody knew there properly. I said, I'll do this to you all. What kind of lifestyle you are leading? You don't know where is eastern direction. The sun rises, sun is health god, and you don't even know where the health god rises. How will you be healthy? Very, what do you call, passionate life in the cities, metropolitan cities. And by being in that atmosphere, we also tend to be passionate. And the modern day educational institutes are highly passionate. Like target, goals, deadlines, exams, how to crack the exam, and all that kind of thing. Very crazy civilization. But cow we can see. Peace. So should associate with cow. I think some devotees stay in Vella. He'll say at the end of the class, Prabhu's, they'll advertise. Chalo, let's go to Vella. Vella chalo. They have the politicians have na. Delhi chalo. What? Bombay chalo. So they'll say Vella chalo. So in the purport, Vishwanath Thakur says commentary, if you tell me, I will kill that person. If you tell perpetrator, who did this to you, tell me, I'll kill him. He says, I have nothing to say. Oh, bull, you are you who are good natured and offenseless are auspicious in happiness and in suffering. But tell me the criminal who is spoiling the fame of the Pandavas. Who is the person who disfigured you by cutting off your legs? He wants to know. But here Dharmaraj is there, not an ordinary person. You see how he speaks. Next, 14th. Whoever causes offenseless living beings to suffer must fear me anywhere and everywhere in the world. By curbing dishonest miscreants, one automatically benefits the offenseless. So this is the duty of a ruler, curbing the dishonest miscreants. Yeah, that is how other offenseless will be benefiting. That's why they would do that in public many times. And even now also, I think in UAE and all that, some offender and all, they publicly beat him or publicly throw stones at him. They put him half in the ground. Somebody molested woman or something like that. Half is buried in the ground. He cannot escape on this because up to west he is underground. He can move the hands, but how will he come out? Because major portion of the body is gone inside. And all the people are allowed to throw stones at him. How horrible it is. How much one will protect? One cannot escape. And so many people beating. By seeing this, others will be fearful. My God, you should never go close to a woman. Though they don't do that in their country, but they will go to a neighboring country and there they will molest women. That kind of sinful tendencies are there in human beings. But at least in that country, then people extremely fearful. So rulers have to be like that. A hand for a hand, a leg for a leg, and a tooth for a tooth. Like that. I heard once, maybe here only, this about Rajgarh, when Shivaji Maharaj had that as his capital for some 26 years or so. So there once one case came that Sarpanch, the village head only, had raped one woman in the village. So when the case came to Shivaji Maharaj, and he was pleading or something like that, that please something. So Shivaji Maharaj was thinking as to what to do, but Jijamata was sitting there. Immediately she said, he should be thrown from the cliff of Rajgarh. Kadelot it is called. Kadelot, Kada means cliff. From there he will be thrown. Take those papers. Shivaji Maharaj, because Jijamata is there. Done. So he was taken to that cliff. And then from there he's thrown. And if you see the valley there, if you go, how many of you have gone to Rajgarh? Hmm? You have not gone yet, huh? You should go once. You know. So there is one, what is it called? There is one upper cliff which has got a hole. If for 1,000 years wind blows with unrestricted force, because it's very high from the MSL, unrestricted wind. So then in the stone also hole is created. That hole is there on the Rajgod if you go on the top. In the stone, huge stone, there is a huge hole also. And in that hole, you can go and stand also. So that is very high. But even otherwise, if you're on normal Rajgad also, you'll find so deep. If you look into the valley, you'll be scared. You should not fall. Like that. And from there, this fellow is thrown. And when thrown, first of all, such a height. On the top of that, below all stones and everything, he'll be like chutney. He'll be made chutney on it. And he was thrown because he molested a woman, raped a woman. That kind of treatment would be given. The rulers were like that. So others would be scared. Unfortunately, here nowadays, so many malpractices happen. Then people become more and more rogues and thieves. Rulers have to be very strict. Okay, so that is which one we saw? 14th, no? We saw 13th or 14th. I did not read this really. Commentary, Vishnu Thakur says, by telling me who he is, he will have fear of me. But even if you do not tell, under all conditions, he will fear me. He who harms the innocent will fear me by all causes. Sarvataha. So better you tell, otherwise he will anyway find out and all that. Like he wants to hear from Dharmaraj. Why is so much bent upon hearing from him? Because he's Dharmaraj after all. This is how Bhagavatam will give the topmost dharma. Our understanding will be refined or fine-tuned. 15th. An upstart living being who commits offenses by torturing those who are offenseless shall be directly uprooted by me, even though he be a denizen of heaven with armor and decorations. Devatas also have to fear Parikshit Maharaj in case they have committed blunder. No question. They are having armor, they have decorations. They cannot allure Parikshit with dhan or with their power. No, he will not be allured. He stands always for dharma. That is Parikshit's stand. In the commentary, Vishnu Thakur says, what happens if there is someone stronger than you? Okay, you are thinking the culprit might be insignificant one, but what happens if there is someone stronger than you? Even if the person is a devta, I will cut off his arms at the root with the arm bands. Actually, there is no person among men and devtas who is as strong as me. This is not his pride. This is his position. Just like Prime Minister of India or any country, you ask him, sir, what all rights you have? Then he'll say, no, the whole finance is with me, and then anywhere flood comes, I can give billions of dollars here. Hey, how much you are boasting about, what nonsense, right? Okay. You control finance and he has that. He's just telling that. Isn't it? It's not like he's telling something extra. That is all his powers. So like that, Parikshit is saying, he's very powerful. Even, when Arjun went to Swargalok, whom did he fight against? Indra is his father only. Nivataka Bacha. So, very powerful. Demigods were not able to do anything about it. So Arjun helped them. And likewise, so many other times also. Even that king, Khatwang, isn't it? He also fought for the demigods, isn't it? They were not able to conquer over the demons in early stages. So they asked his help and he gave that. Afterwards, it seems the Skanda was born, Shivaji's son, Kartikeya. So he became the commander in chief. So now Devatas told Khatwang Maharaj that now he is there. You don't have to worry. You can take off. But we are very happy, by the way, by your performance. So we are ready to give you any blessing you want. Ask any benediction of us. So he was a king, he was a devotee. So he said, I just want to know how much time is left with me. So they saw his charts, everything. And they said, hey, you have only one muhurta, 48 minutes left with you. Immediately he came down to earth, sat in meditation on his Supreme Lord, and left body. And went back to Vaikuntha. Khatkwanga Nama Rushayo. Muhurtat Sarvam Usrujya. In one muhurta, he gave up everything. Similarly, our Muchukund also, I think, he also fought against demons. So you see, these are our earthly kings, but the demigods would seek their help and would be given the help. King would help, and their demigods would become victorious with the help of such earthly kings. Very powerful kings were there. And we saw earlier also, Parikshit went all the way to Ketumal, Kimpurushvarsh, what is that, Harivarsh, Bhadrashva. Who can think of? With our satellites, Chandrayaan 3, 4, 30, 300, can we go to Bhadrashva and Ketumal, Kimpurushvar? The king Purush. They ask what it is. They don't even know what it is. Forget about reaching there. Even I heard this South Pole also, because Earth is stuck in the Bhumandal at the South Pole. Earth is not a moving one; it is stationary, and it is stuck in the entire Bhumandal on the South Pole. So nobody can go there, South Pole. The planes and what do you call boats, etc. Bermuda Triangle is different. That is, where is it? It's in Atlantic or Pacific. Somewhere there, no? Atlantic. That is kind of in the middle. Where is it? In North uh, Hemisphere or Southern? North Hemisphere, no? North America, somewhere nearby. So that is different. There the boats and all they disappear. But I'm talking about South Pole, Antarctica region. So there they cannot go. And there is it is banned also. Government has banned. Governments, the world government. So they cannot go. So what was I telling before that? So these people are completely helpless. So these are not ordinary kings in Parikshit. Pandavas, very powerful. In the that we already read, 15. He said already that there is no one as strong as me. In 16th, the supreme duty of the ruling king. Before we go there, this in 7 to 8, he says, King asked Bull, "Are you a demigod? You have lost your 3 legs." 9 to 12 is 9 and 10th. King to cow, no one ever shed tears due to royal negligence. 11th is, therefore I must kill this wretched man. Then 12th to 16th, if we are discussing, Parikshit asked the bull to tell the perpetrator. Tell of the perpetrator. Who is the perpetrator? Tell me. So 16th one, he said, the supreme duty of the ruling king is to give all protection to law-abiding persons and to chastise those who stray from the ordinances of the scriptures in ordinary times when there is no emergency. So there is a general dharma, samanya dharma, but there is something called as vipad dharma also. Means emergency situation. In emergency, it is said in Ramayana or somewhere that Vishwamitra Muni had to live on dog flesh. He had to eat dog flesh. There are nothing, I don't know the circumstances, but there are nothing to eat. So when there is that, what do you call, that survival is at stake, one is allowed such thing. Even Prabhupada was asked by one disciple who was being sent to some region of the world where there was possibility of not getting vegetarian food. Prabhupada said, but that devotee said, Prabhupada, I may not get vegetarian food there. Prabhupada said, no problem. Eat meat and preach. That meat eating will not incur that much sin as much as if we don't preach and people become highly sinful and eat so much of meat. So you go, and if there is no vegetarian food, you eat meat but preach. So preaching is most supreme dharma. That doesn't mean that he has to eat meat when there is vegetarian food. Vegetarian food is there, he can take. And that will be provided by the Lord. That will be arranged. Because when a devotee starts preaching in any area, the auspiciousness increases. Because Krishna has appeared in the form of holy name, Hari Katha, Hari Prasad, whatever it is. So then Jayati te dikam janmana vrajaha. All opulences come automatically. Wherever there is Yogeshwar Krishna and Dhanurdhar Arjun, Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. There is Shri, there is opulence, Niti, morality, Bhuti, extraordinary power, and Vijay, victory. 4 things automatically follow wherever there is Lord and the devotee. So when the devotee preaches, all the things will come. Just like you see in the early stages of preaching of ISKCON in America, Tulsi plants were not there only. In one temple, I heard that the devotees planted Tulsi and it was growing like anything huge. And they were wondering, "Arey, we are all performing devotional service so nicely that, how Tulsi is kind of going." And after some time, somebody else came, some other devotee, and said, "What is this? This Tulsi." They said, "This is not Tulsi. This is not Tulsi plant." Some other, I don't know which plant was that. And they were all devotees. Which one, The devotees, local devotees were thinking, "Arey, so much Luxuriantly she's growing. That was not Tulsi plant at all. They did not know only. And similarly, His Holiness Prahladanand Swami Maharaj, their temple Jagannath Baldev Subhadra were brought. And as a pujari, he was worshipping. He was not knowing who are these three logs of woods. So he wrote a letter to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, these three black, white, and yellow, they have been sent. Who are these? May I know their names? Prabhupada wrote back. They are called as Jagannath, Baldev, and Subhadra. The black one is Jagannath and all that. And for further details, you may contact some devotees. Contact. He doesn't know who are they. One is black, one is white, and one is yellow. क्या है ये? कौन है ये? He doesn't know. At least Krishna is there. They knew Krishna at least. Threefold bending form, two hands, playing flute, etc. But this, what it is? One upper head, circular, and one bottom base. It's like on the base, some kind of balance one is. Yes, he was not understanding. So you can see that Prahlada Maharaj that time. So Prabhupada hangs in the purports of Prabhupada in Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no other disciple's name except Govinda Dasi Mataji. For what? For growing Tulsi in Western countries, which was not there only. Tulsi, not even one plant in the entire America or whatever, Western countries. And when she and other devotees came to know Tulsi is so important, Tulsi Krishna Priyasi. So we must grow Tulsi here. But when they tried, I don't know what, because of climatic conditions of maybe extreme cold or whatever it is, the plants were not growing only, they were dying only. So she did whatever she did, research and everything. Thoroughly she worked, and the Tulsi plants started growing in American land. And Prabhupada was so pleased. He writes about her that something like, we are very grateful to our disciple Govinda Dasi for making Tulsi plant grow in Western countries. This comes, I think, in Dhruv Maharaj section, because he was told by Narad Muni that offer food to the Lord, and that food is offered with Tulsi, but not necessarily in Madhuvan or wherever he goes. Tulsi plant would be, or leaves would be available. So then what? Then any other leaves can also be offered. With that mood, it can be offered. So Prabhupada somewhere there writes, Tulsi is so dear to Krishna, and we were having difficulty in our disciple work period. So Govindasi Mataji is so special. Says her name has appeared in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam purports. You will not find anywhere. In Nectar of Devotion, there you will find Prabhupada thanks Jayanand Prabhu for contributing for that book publishing, etc. But that is in the beginning, forward and all that. But her name is in the purports. Very special. And that to Prabhupada is thanking also. Glorifying her. Her life is a success. All Prabhupada disciples are amazing. Yes.
Which conditions we should be strict in transgressing dharma, means just like
We
we
should be
said,
strict in all conditions.
we
We
said
should never transgress.
when there is a
Emergency.
there is a emergency, it is
Hmm.
said that then for case of preaching we may eat meat. Some exceptional cases are given. So we also see that there are saints in the history. They are so strict in certain cases. Uh, they accepted a death, whether rather than eating meat. We heard about some saints. So they are ready to die because some opposing party people, they wanted them to eat meat.
That is
So
different. That is
and
forced upon them.
and
So by
they
preaching doesn't happen. We can ask our superiors. The world is quite advanced. We can communicate through calling, SMS, email, WhatsApp. So we can just ask our superior that I'm in a condition where there is no vegetarian food, Prabhu. What should I do? So he is very advanced, elevated, senior devotee, or could be guru also. And if he says you eat meat, no problem, you preach. So you may eat meat, no problem. So faith is very important. Yesterday in our council meeting, we were reading from Chaitanya Bhagavat, second chapter of Antil Khanda. So there, Lingaraj temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, on the way from Shantipur, after sannyas, he is going to Jagannath Puri. So on the way, when he comes to Bhuvaneshwar, he goes to Lingaraj temple. So several pages after pages, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur is giving commentary on Lingaraj temple, all details, the height of the dome and this and that, so many details. So there it is said the glories of Lingaraj as told by Brahma to other demigods, or Vyasdev by Vyasdev to other demigods. So that this Lingaraj Mahaprasad is so special. Nobody should think that this is other Shiva temples you cannot take prasad. But this is Anant Vasudev is offered the Bhoga. So it becomes Mahaprasad. And then that Mahaprasad goes to Lord Shiva, who is a pure devotee of the Lord. So it becomes Mahaprasad. And the glories of Mahaprasad. So much so he says that if a dog is eating that, dog has put it in the mouth, that Lingaraj Mahaprasadam, and he's carrying, and let's say you get it, it falls on the ground. So one should take it. If one doesn't take it, he will go to hell. Even Brahmana will go to hell. And then he says, even if that Mahaprasad of Lingaraj, it falls, it is in a place where meat was placed. Meat is kept. From there it is given. You imagine some meat is there, and in that this Lingaraj Mahaprasad is there. And somebody picks it up and gives in your hand. You cannot say, this is meat mixed. I will not take. No, you will go to hell. You have to take it. So much faith has to be there. So we have to be Shraddhavan Jana hai, Bhakti Adhikari. Those who have faith. So similarly, in the instructions of the spiritual master, there should be faith. If the spiritual master says that you are staying under this tree, you should stay in this palace. So one should, without any reservation, second thought, should go and stay in that palace. And other side also, if you are staying in palace and spiritual master says stay underneath this tree, one should go and stay underneath tree also. Either way, that kind of dedication, Vyavasatmika buddhi is required. So we can ask our seniors anytime confusion. Mahajanas are there. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya mahajano yena tatah sapanta. The scriptures are very confidential, cannot understand. Here scriptures say one thing, there scripture. Here it is said, striya, it will come now. Striya pana dyuta shunaha. Meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication. These are very sinful activities and all that. If one is breaking this, one is doing all these things, then he's not even a human being. And other side, the scriptures say that you can eat meat also in emergency. And not only meat, cow, this, what do you call, dog flesh. Dog is considered worst of all the meats. Dog's flesh, the person who eats, is called as Shwapacha, Chandal. Worst. And in the fallen, that's a Kirata, Onandra, the Chandal doesn't come only. It's like at the bottommost level, cannot not to be mentioned also. But one can eat meat. Vishwamitra Muni ate cow, or this, not cow flesh, this dog's flesh. Hmm.
Bhagavat, it is mentioned from Devi Radharani is coming. So like that is explained in the scriptures. I did not reread that, but someone told me that it is like that.
Generally, it's like, here we mentioned senior devotee is giving class, like I'm giving class. Somebody goes, hey, senior devotee. But now imagine here Prabodhanand Saraswati Maharaj comes, or some 10, 15, 20, 30 disciples of Prabhupada come. So I will become the junior most in front of them. So in which context it is spoken? Who are the demigods present there? So in that assembly, Shivji is supreme of all those demigods. He is anyway Devadidev Mahadev. So it is spoken like that. But if Lord is present, that will never be spoken like that. You can see that's what was the mistake done by Upabharan Gandharva when the meeting was there, and that assembly was for glorifying the Supreme Lord. And he, in order to impress some girls, heavenly damsels, he started glorifying demigods in that assembly, where everybody had assembled to glorify the Lord. And because he did this big mistake, all the Dikpalas, Lokpalas, they cursed him that you are behaving like a Shudra, Agyani, ignorant fellow. Lord is to be glorified here, and you're glorifying us, demigods. May you become a low class Shudra. And that's how next life he becomes Narad Muni. Narad Muni's previous birth. Second birth, Upabharan Gandharva became next life a Shudra child. And there he served Bhakti Vedantis. And next lifetime he became Brahma's son, Narad Muni. So thus, in which context it is said, that has to be seen. And as far as Durga, from Durga, Radharani coming, that you have to see what exactly is said, why it is said like that. But Radharani's name does not come so openly here and there. So in Devi Bhagavad, why suddenly Radharani's name is coming? You have to read something before. Oh, I'm not all knowing. I am knowing, but not all knowing. All knowing is Krishna. That he even who says Shiva, somebody said, no? That Shuka Vetti, uh, something. Shiva Vetti. Aham Vetti na Vetti. Uh, Sridharam definitely Vetti. Who says that? Not sure. Acha. Okay.
Lord, Shiva.
Huh? Yes, Krishna Ketanpu.
Lord Shiva tells that they tell they kept that letter inside the Shivji in Kashi Vishwanath.
Okay.
Then Shivji
Shiva said,
replied, for authentication of Sridhar Swami's literatures, they kept inside Shiva's room and they closed it. Morning they got letter that this sloka
Acha.
by Shivji.
Okay, ठीक है. So anyway, some great personality says this. Even aham vetti na vetti. That I know, or I may know, I may not know. So how can I know? So Devi Bhagavad, which what it is? Is it Purana or what it is? In 18 Purana, Devi, all Puranas are ending in Purana. Vayu Puran, Garud Puran, Skanda Puran. Devi Bhagavad is what? Purana, all 18 Puranas are only there. And they all have name Puran, no? Bhagavad Puran, Padma Puran. Devi Bhagavad Puran word is not coming. Anyway, you do research and tell us. We'll go ahead. Syllabus. Some devotees may be tensed. Okay. We were where? 15th. Ordinances. There is no emergency. We did not read the purport. In the scriptures, there is mention of apad dharma or occupational duty at times of extraordinary happenings. It is said that sometimes the great sage Vishwamitra had to live on the flesh of dogs in some extraordinary dangerous position. So here it is only coming in the purport only proper mention. He is not saying once, sometimes it is said. That means it might have happened more than once. Next paragraph middle he says, such swadharma might be violated in case of emergency if one is forced by circumstances, but they cannot be violated in ordinary times. Same thing Shukracharya also tells, the apadharma kind of. That ordinarily one should give charity to Brahmanas, no doubt, O King Bali. But here, this Brahmin is none other than Lord Vishnu only. This guy is a dwarf Brahmin. And in 2 steps only, he will make you bereft of everything. You lose everything. 3rd step, you cannot put also because you will not have anything under your possession. So now, in such situation, he gives some situations like, it's like, if you want to convince a girl to marry you, so you can tell lie. When your life is in threat, risk, you can tell a lie. In some situations, you can tell a lie. So here, no problem. And anyway, you have not given water and argument saying, oh, now you ask. That is not done. So you are still not yet bound. So tell him, sorry, no, I will not give you charity. That is Shukracharya telling on lower level, like that. Or what do you call that? Dharma Shastras and all. Say these things. Definitely true. So there it is kind of negative, Shukracharya and Bali. But here it is in the positive sense. When emergency situation is there, one may not follow Swadharma. Just like simple example of our day-to-day life, child abortion is the worst of the sins. But child abortion is not a problem when the doctor says mother or we can save the child, they will ask the relatives, what do you want? So naturally, that time child has to be aborted because that mother who remains alive after the delivery or whatever that abortion, she can give birth. Next time she can become pregnant, she can give birth to next child. But if the child is born without mother, mother dies, the child is born. So that fellow will be orphan throughout life, and this lady is at least grown up. So when it comes this kind of calculations, then the other part will be seen. Like, okay, she's already mature lady. She can always give birth to another child and all that. So when there is critical condition like this, abortion of the child is not a sin. It will not be sin. But in normal circumstances, all the abortions that are happening in the world, they are not in critical condition. Almost. They are all, because the man and woman came together, had sex for enjoyment. And now somehow they had used contraceptives, but somehow she became pregnant. We don't want a child. Let it fall. Whatever. Where it so this is sinful. This is ordinary times. But it's allowed. Just like, the other situation of that laws of nature, that uh, Brahman was sitting in the forest meditating, and suddenly a cow came running, 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 and he opened his eyes. What happened? Bush in us. And seconds only that this man is dead. So he's what that do? Nothing. But then the cow will be butchered. But then how can I lie? That is improper. So this was not emergency situation for him. His life was not at stake. You understand? The butcher would not kill him. He's only going to kill the cow if he could get the cow. But this fellow committed a mistake. He thought, no, Brahman Dharma dictates truthfulness. So I should tell the truth. So he told. There, means in that direction, cow is gone. And this fellow butcher ran in that direction. Sure enough, cow was there. He butchered the cow. So after some years, when this Brahmin was going, or another case, I think the sadhu goes for begging alms, and one lady opens the house doors, and he says, "Bhavati bhiksham dehi." Oh, mother, please give some alms. So she says, "Please come inside." And then he thinks, "Oh, such a nice lady." He goes inside, he sits, and then she proposes to him that you please have union with me. I want to have sex with you. Usually Panchayat was called, and now he's a Brahmin, he cannot be killed. Brahma Hatya, dosh. Became the woman, and the butcher became the husband who was lying, who was husband. So she took the revenge. Butcher killed her in the previous life. Now she killed him, and this like that. So my point was, he was not in apad dharma. This apad dharma for him. You understand? He was free, told lie, which was a superior truth. But they cannot be violated in ordinary times. So we all also can tell lies and all. For Krishna, we can tell sometimes. No problem. Like Yudhishthira Maharaj was told, you tell that Ashwatthama is dead. How can I say? Ashwatthama is not dead. He's alive. Then Krishna said to Bhima, okay, This elephant is named Ashwatthama. Kill him. Bhima took his fist only, one punch, and the elephant died. His name was Ashwatthama. So Krishna told Yudhishthira, now you can say Ashwatthama is dead. Yudhishthira Maharaj was surprised. But when I tell to Drona Ashwatthama is dead, he will think Ashwatthama means my son Ashwatthama. But actually, what I mean is, which Ashwatthama? The elephant. So this is again lying, whatever you call indirect lying and all that, So he was in a fix. He could not. So he ultimately could not speak what Krishna said. So he said, Narova Kunjarova. Ashwatthama, the elephant, is dead. But Krishna was very knowing. He was knowing. He's omniscient. He knows everything. So when he said Ashwatthama and the elephant, exactly that time only, pung, what Dronacharya heard was Ashwatthama, pung, is dead. So he could not hear the elephant. So he thought Ashwatthama is my son, is dead. And then he immediately gave up the weapons, sat on the battlefield only, without chopped off the head of Dronacharya. So here he should have, Yudhishthira Maharaj should have spoken the lie, which would have been the complete truth, topmost truth. Why? Because the absolute truth Krishna was telling him, that tell Ashwatthama is dead. But he hesitated. That's why his chariot, which would always be floating above the battlefield of Kurukshetra, some inches above. But that time when he hesitated to lie, he did not lie. His chariot fell down, touched the ground for some moments. Again it came up. And outsiders say, because he told a lie, that's why his chariot fell down. But our acharyas clarify, no, because he hesitated to repeat the truth, what Krishna had dictated, that's why it fell down. So many people not hearing in parampara, here lies the difference between hearing in parampara and not hearing in parampara. They accuse Yudhishthira Maharaj, who was a pure devotee, in a wrong way. And similarly, Eklavya's story also. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes it clear. He was born in Nishad community and he should not have been accepting that Vidya. If he was a real disciple, he should have followed the first instruction that archery is not for you. But he hidingly learnt it. And then when time came for Guru Dakshina, give me your right hand thumb. Said, yes, I'm an ideal disciple. Asked for any Guru Dakshina, I will give that. He gave up. But who killed Eklavya? Krishna himself. These are Nishad community people, and Kauravas or Pandavas, whatever you call, they were the rulers. Whenever they would send their soldiers to collect taxes, these fellows, because they are in mountains and all that, so they would throw stones and arrows and drive away all the Kuru soldiers. So they were helpless. They were not able to capture these fellows only. So one fine day, Krishna only entered inside the jungle and personally killed Eklavya. So Eklavya is glorified so much, almost all over India, for his Guru Bhakti. What a Guru Bhakti. He gave off his thumb like that, which was very important part in releasing arrows. But so much. But this is not at all. If it was really disciple, he should not have gone for the archery only. So a lot of misconceptions are there in the world. That is because of not knowing or hearing in parampara. One needs to hear in parampara. So this is apadharma. In the commentary, our Vishnu Chakra Thakur says, what is the use in punishing one person and not punishing another person? This was answers. He punishes those who are sinful. Anyan. 17th. The personality of religion said, those words just spoken by you befit a person of the Pandav dynasty, captivated by the devotional qualities of the Pandavas. Even Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, performed duties as a messenger. So earlier the reference came, he was wandering in the kingdom, all that, Kuru jungle, Kim Purush, Varshana. So everywhere he went, he heard the glories of Pandavas and their intimate, affectionate relationship with Krishna. Now here, Dharma only is speaking. Who is speaking? Buddha only, no? Yeah. So he is glorifying that this behavior, these words are fitting to one born in Pandav dynasty only. You are the grandson of Arjun. You only can say like that. And Pandavas were also like that. So that's why Krishna was captivated by their devotion. He even became their messenger. In the commentary, Vishnu Chakra Thakur says, Krishna was attracted to all their qualities which were filled with prema. Because Krishna is controlled only by prema. And since you are the son of Arjun, with qualities similar to his. Krishna is controlled by your qualities as well. Therefore, nothing is impossible for you. You are son of Arjun means it's understood. Arjun's son, Abhimanyu's son. But the same lineage, same qualities, same blood flows in that dynasty. 18th. O greatest among human beings, it is very difficult to ascertain the particular miscreant who has caused our sufferings because we are bewildered by all the different opinions of theoretical philosophers. So see, he is going very deep now. The dharma. Dharma knows all the dharma. Prabhupada in purport says, Kanada, the author of Vaisheshika philosophy, Gautama, the author of logic, Patanjali, the author of mystic yoga, Kapila, the author of Sankhya philosophy, Jaimini, the author of Karma Mimamsa, and Vyasdev, the author of Vedanta Darshan. So these are the 6 philosophies. Vaisheshika philosophy, then what is Sanskrit name? Nyaya, logic, then yoga, then Sankhya, then Karma Mimamsa, and Vedanta Darshan, of which we accept Vedanta Darshan. Vyasdev has given. So these all the 6 philosophies in simple fashion means basically how everything comes from atoms. Everything is made of atoms only. Like that philosophy. They knew well also that without the sanction of the Lord, no one could inflict trouble upon them. The bull and cow, in one sense. They knew perfectly well that the personality of Kali was the direct cause of their suffering. Still, as the devotees of the Lord, they knew well also that without the sanction of the Lord, no one could inflict trouble upon them. So this person may appear to be a perpetrator, this Kali Raj. But Lord sanctioned, that's why he's able to beat us. No? So they know the cause of all causes. So that's why, and there are many other reasons, many other causes in one sense. So how come earlier he could not inflict pain, and now how he is inflicting pain at this time? Why not before? Because he has arrived much before only. So they know all that, what you call deep things. Knowledge makes one see far, farther than what others can see. Like you can see, like just like now this wall is there. Now none of us can see. But the knowledge is such it can see beyond this wall also. This wall is nothing. This is having hardly thickness of half feet, 1 feet. But the ignorance, there are millions of layers of ignorance over the soul and over the universe also. So the knowledge can penetrate it all and give one vision of what lies beyond. What is invisible becomes clearly visible with the help of knowledge. That's the power of knowledge. I think I explained here, no? That materialistic person, he sees only Shakti. Not here. No? Yeah, but like, anything charming in this world, like malls in the evening. If you go on the streets of city, you'll find, a lot of lights and this and so many items are there, one will feel, I want this item. If I get this item, I will be happy. Once I was in Bangalore, my plastic razor, our razor, what is that? Gillette, no? So somehow it broke. It must have been old. That the points are there, na? That broke. And that broke means you cannot hold the blade. So then I asked them, can I have a razor? My razor is broken. So they said, yes, Prabhu. What kind of razor? So I said, this kind of this thing. I had that specification. Then when discussion happened, I said, no, I don't want anything. I want this kind of thing only. They said, okay, Prabhu, you only come. And we are traveling here and there. In the mall, we'll go. So they took me to one mall in Bangalore, to one section where razors were there. And there were so many varieties of razors, battery operated. I was wondering, are a razor and what battery has got to do with it? My God. So, and they also, they're commercial fellows. So they were showing me so many different, because they're costly also. I said, no, we want that simple single blade Gillette. Then toward the end, they showed, here it is. I said, yeah, that is what. That was, I think, 22 rupees there. Others were like, I don't know what cost. So crazy. So when ordinary fellows, materialistic vision, when we see the Shakti, we get charmed by it. Wow. If only I have this 3-bladed razor with battery, battery operated, something like. Then smooth shaving. Hmm. Once done, never again. That will never happen anyway. Again, hairs will grow. But people get charmed only. So this is not proper. This is some vision. Hmm. It's which I bought. So Jnana Chakshu or Shastra Chakshu means seeing the Shakti, but beyond it, being able to see the Shaktiman. Krishna is there. Okay. Bhumirath, all this what I see here, Gillette blade, this blade, shave, that what do you call it? Sir, that is transformations earth, water, fire. And beyond this, it's Krishna is. So can see the Shaktiman beyond Shakti, he has Jnana Chakshu. And who sees Shakti, or he does not see Shakti, but he sees the Supreme Lord Krishna, he is in love. That is called a Premanchurita Chakshu. So that Supreme Premanjana Churita Vilone Satahastirudye Viloyanti Yam Shama Sundaramachintya Gunaswarupam Govindama. In progress, but we are not boasting about it. It is boasting so much every now and then. Anyway, so then Bhagavata, you don't see Supreme Lord only. So you are getting Spurti. There Mahaprabhu says, Thavar Jangam Dekhi, the pure devotee of the Lord Mahabhagavat, he sees Thavar, non-moving, and Jangam Dekhi, na Dekhi Taramurti, Dekhi na Dekhi, Pashan na Pashad. He sees, but he does not see. He does not see moving, non-moving things. He sees, but he does not see. So what does he see? Tavarjangam Dekhi Dekhi Taramurti. This is lonely. Ishtadev. Haya Nija Ishtadeva Bhuti. Just like a simple example of she likes blue color dress or something. So I need to, oh, yeah, the blue. Maybe she has come or no. So that I think kind of. Where
Material fascinations comes in devotional service sometimes. Like speaker not aware. So I go in like that. Once no.
That is not for telling your glories to the world. That is for telling Krishna glories to the world. So that's not a problem. We are all just the nimitta matram, bhava savyasachim. We are all just the instruments. We don't take the glory. All glories to assembled devotees. Not all glories to me. Anybody can ISKCON say, all glories to me. They will say, horrible. They will not say horrible. Horrible. And if you say again, all glories to me, then sure enough, 2, 3 devotees will get up minimum from all those who are paying obeisances. And if you say third time, sure enough, fourth time you may not be able to say. Your head may be chopped off. They will not tolerate that. Understand? In the next paragraph, he says, they knew well also that without the sanction of the law, no one could inflict trouble. Okay. And then towards the end of that paragraph, they take it for granted that the mischief monger is made to act by some indirect cause. And therefore, they tolerate the sufferings, thinking them to be God given in small doses. For otherwise, the suffering should have been greater. This is Tatya Anukampam Sushamekshamano Punjana Evatmakritam Vipakam Rudvagvapurvir Vidadhan Namaste Jive Toyo Mukti Pade Sadaibha. What Brahma is telling in the 8th verse of the 14th chapter of 10th canto in his prayers to Krishna after Brahma Vimohan Lila. So there is saying that devotees, when they undergo tribulations, sufferings in their life, they take it as a reaction for their past misdeeds, which should be punished millions of times more. But Krishna, being very kind, saying that I'm engaged in his service, he has reduced the punishment to insignificant token punishment extent. So just, and with their body, mind, and words, with folded palms, they serve Krishna. Such a person becomes eligible to achieve liberation. This liberation is not that Sayujya or even other. This is directly going back to Godhead. This is Mukti Pade, because Mukti has taken shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. So it is referring to Bhakti only. Mukti Pade, Sarvam Bhattacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussion. So such devotees, and devotees take the troubles in their life like this. So they don't see that he is the cause, he is the cause. For us also it is very important because we stay with so many other devotees. And for that matter, everybody is staying in this world with somebody or the other, in families, society, people are there. And so many bad things happen to us. And immediately we tend to point out to immediate cause, isn't it? We become very disturbed. A simple example, you are there in the bathroom area shaving or whatever, and suddenly somebody switches off the light. Hari bol! Who is that? You become very angry. So you are seeing immediate cause only. You have very shallow vision. Krishna wanted to test you. और Prabhupada is telling, अरे मेरा blood चूस रहा है तू. कब से light लगा के toilet में बैठा था उधर. You went only in the bathroom area by switching on the light tube, thinking that after toilet and all that, then I will be shaving head. But why should you switch on the light beforehand only? You complete your toilet business, then when you come out, wash your hand, then you switch on the tube under which you want to shave your head or whatever. But you switch on, so Krishna is testing you. Whether are you realizing? Prabhupada said, ISKCON, money in ISKCON is my blood. So, हम प्रभुपाद का blood चूस रहे बिना कारण, without cause. So we should not be immediately, we should not blurt out, who is that? How dare of you to switch off the light? तेरे बाप का है क्या? लेकिन तेरे बाप का भी है क्या? नहीं, मेरे दादाजी का है, प्रभुपाद का. तो अगर if you are unnecessarily using it, you are sucking Prabhupada's blood. There are proper ways of utilizing. Like our energy you use, we are using our blood only. Though we don't cut our body, but when you give your energy, that is giving blood only. But that is a bona fide way. Or when we take cow's milk, that is cow's blood only, but it is a bona fide way to get the strength of cow, strength from the cow. But nobody can cut her and get the blood directly. That is very sinful. So we have to go deeper in spiritual life. We should not be purely. There are several reasons for that. Krishna may use that devotee to show the rest of the world. Just see, my pure devotee, despite so many difficulties, he never gives up devotional service or he's ever enthusiastic. That is one. Or sometimes he might still having some traces of attachment, something like that. So that can be relieved. He can be relieved of that just by putting him through some trouble like that. And then he will come to senses. Just like example is given, a child is thrown in the air. So child understand, he doesn't understand death in one sense, But he understands this is some dangerous position, being in the air, not in the arms of mother or father. So he immediately kind of extends hand. So his dependence on the mother father increases in that dangerous condition. So similarly, when pure devotee is put in such, pure means very advanced devotee who has some tinges of contamination. So Krishna may do that. And some other reasons also.
In case of ordinary devotees, that is their karma only.
Yeah, they should take it as karma only. The prarabdha karma is not gone. And prarabdha karma, Krishna does not end beforehand anyway, because prarabdha karma has this body as a part of it. So if Krishna finishes your body, how will you complete? How will you perform devotional service and complete or reach the perfection of your devotional service? So Krishna will not end your prarabdha karma immediately. At the time of death only, this last installment of prarabdha karma, the body will be taken away. Because you need body for performing bhakti. So he will not finish off prarabdha karma or anyone for that matter.
Prabhuji, we have to tolerate those things which are personally hurting us. But it is said that things which is hampering the service to Guru and which is means service, that point of view, sometimes we are confused which thing to tolerate, which thing to retaliate. Sometimes there are things to be tackled or
Now, I don't know whether that is gone. Maybe you all studied, no? Tiraskrita vipralabdha kshapta shipta hatapi nasya tat pratikurvanti tad bhakta prabhavahi api. Is it gone or not? Done, no?
but means
Ah.
that is there,
How
the
many-
pure devotee symptom, but it is also said
See,
that
when it is torture to you or insult to you, that you should tolerate. Amanina. But when it is Guru's mission or something,
for
else,
example, you have given bathrooms example. I'm in bathroom doing shaving and I have to go to DT services, and so someone means tap closed, some switch means मतलब वो जो सप्लाई है वही बंद कर दिया किसी ने ऑन
supply
टाइम,
for what? Water?
वाटर सप्लाई बंद हो गया और
बंद
मैं
हो
आई
गया।
गॉट डिलेड. So it is Guru's seva, but I got
But
delayed.
how do you know who put off the tap?
I come to know later who did that.
But
then-
imagine somehow the person in charge, he forgot to put water only the thing. And when you had filled the bucket half, the water exactly got over. So now is it his problem? In one sense, you may say, yeah, his problem only. He forgot to. So that way we can keep blaming the whole world, and that way we'll never be able to see Krishna's hand in life. And little bit delay is not a problem. You have to analyze the situation. You can just put a word to your superior, let them decide and take action. Then you yourself saying, what nonsense, after all I was going for Guru Seva and because of you I got delayed and I will shoot you down now. Then be ready for getting shot by Krishna. So don't blurt out. Don't act, don't. Greatness of a person has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situations. So learn to tolerate provoking situations. Even if you can give a nice garb to
If
saying that Guru Seva.
if
Guru
I take
Seva,
out
mere.
myself from picture, still there are something happening with other devotee, and then in that case it is
So
said
that certainly should be. That's what
that
na
is said-
Amanadena.
Yeah.
Amani na. For myself, no respect and all. But for other devotees, I should respect them. So if there is some trouble for them, you can take the matter to authorities. Don't become too agitated.
that in those cases it's found that things become complicated.
No
it happens.
complication. Take the matter to superiors. They are empowered by Guru Parampara. Is there manager for the temple? Is there president for the temple?
Complicated in the
Is
sense
there GBC for the?
that means those who are whose complaint is taken, they think that why my complaint is taken, and
So that's why you don't complain. You just somehow inform to managers. They will deal with it. When managers bring the matter and they ask, he'll ask, who told you, Prabhu? The manager says, somebody. Isn't it? They will not say that you. What is your name?
Narahari Thakur Das.
So Narahari Thakur Prabhu said to us. They will not say like that. They say one devotee. Your well-wisher. So he will be burning in fire. My well-wisher. Who is he? But he will not come to the name. Okay. And in the last paragraph middle, he says, speculative philosophers, however, do not recognize the sanction of the Lord. They try to find out the cause of sufferings in their own way. So that is not the way. See, don't try to find out the cause in one sense, especially when it is some pain or something inflicted to us. Like we develop fever, whom will you blame? Chup chup, medicine low. And chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Like that. Or the other example, while speaking fast or eating, somehow you beat your tongue beneath your teeth. किसको बोलेंगे? प्रभु बोलने के लिए भी नहीं होगा क्योंकि वो टंग blood is flowing. चुप बैठे रहो. Or maybe this lips get. How many of you experience lip? What do you call that? Bite. So how many of you experience severe one? ऐसा कि बस every time you take prasad जलता है बहुत because it's a deep cut. How many of you experience? 2-3 दिन कब ठीक होगा प्रसाद ही नहीं ले पा रहा हूँ. See, tolerance is a sign of humility. One who is humble, he will tolerate, and one who is arrogant, he'll say, "What? Because of you, I suffered." So he'll be intolerant. One who is humble, he tolerates. Our Haridas Thakur, how much torture? 22 marketplaces he was beaten up. Did he blame anyone? Rather, the people were surprised. They said, "Hare Haridas Thakur, how come these things happened to you?" Then what did he say? "I heard the offenses of Vaishnavas. That's why I got punished." When did he hear offenses to Vaishnavas? Never. That is his humility. They say that anything can make a proud person proud, and nothing makes a humble devotee proud. It is said, no, a beggar is also proud of his begging bowl. So anything can make one proud. Even a begging bowl can make a beggar proud, but nothing of this world makes a pure devotee proud or humble devotee proud. Yeah, he has so many glories. Like Prabhupada had so many glories, but he never became proud. Yeah, no, never. So all glories to Bhakti Thakur, my spiritual master, and all glories to you all who were sent by Bhakti Thakur only. So, okay, in the 18th purport, he says, a commentary, I do not know the person from whom the seeds of suffering will arise. Why do you conceal the person? I even see the person who is giving you suffering because that person is there only. Kaliraj. True, he is giving me suffering, but there should be a seed that is cause of my suffering, because of which he gives me suffering. See, seed, who cares for seed? Hardly anyone. It cannot be otherwise. I do not know that person from whom the seed arises. But you know scriptures. Why do you not know? True. Knowledge of many scriptures is the cause of misunderstanding them. Bahu shastre bahu vakye chitte brahma hoy. If you read too many scriptures and you hear from too many people, you will be bewildered in your mind. Chitte brahma hoy. You will be confused. So that's why too many scriptures should not be read. But in our own parampara, we can read because all acharyas are in line. So it will not be confusing. 19th. Some of the philosophers who deny all sorts of duality declare that one's own self is responsible for his personal happiness and distress. Others say that superhuman powers are responsible, while yet others say that activity is responsible. And the gross materialists maintain that nature is the ultimate cause. See, 4 varieties of people are mentioned in this, and all 4 are not matching only. Nasav Rusiryasya Matam na Bhinnam. A Rushi is not a Rushi, philosopher, mental speculator, unless he differs in opinion from other Rushis, other philosophers. And they are like that. Like PhD. Can you copy the same thesis of somebody else earlier and say that I want PhD? Will you get? No question. Yeah, something. So that's why in engineering, I don't know how many of you did. We would take previous some seminar something and make some changes and all that and say my seminar presentation. Okay, accept. Not matching. Some things are difficult. Or sometimes they don't even know. So the seminar, it is different. It is on low level. But PhD and all, I think they are all well documented. If you copy somebody else's, that will not be acceptable. In the commentary, he says, here the different opinions are described. Some, the yogis, who cover up vasana, I think, The difference, Vikalpa, say the mind controller of the person gives happiness and suffering. Manushanam bandhana, karanam bandha moksha is there. But mind sometimes isn't it? We are very happy. Sometimes some people are very happy to hear some, to get something and all that. And then suddenly they come to know some sad story, which they did not know. And they are shocked. So they were so ecstatic at one point, and next moment they became sad because some other details they did not know. In the Gita, 6.5 says, Atmeva hi atmano bandhur, atmaeva ripuratmanaha. The Atma itself is the friend of the soul and the enemy of the soul. Or the meaning can be the Advaitins who say that the Jiva and the Lord become one, say that the Atma is the source of happiness and suffering. They also say that Devatas cannot be the cause since they are controlled by karma as well. And karma cannot be the cause because it is not independent. So only the Atma is the cause and nothing else. Others, those who believe in planets controlled by Devatas, say that planets are the cause. है ना, मेरे ग्रह ही अभी रॉन्ग चल रहे हैं. लोग बोलते हैं ना, क्या करे क्या हो, शनि है आगे अभी 7:30 ही शुरू हो गया. कुछ बोलता है अरे मेरा तो मंगल चल रहा है, राहु चल रहा है, ये हो गया वो हो गया. The Mimamsakas say that karma is the cause. Others, the Lokayatas, say that swabhav, the inherent property of matter, is the cause. स्वभाव ही है उसका उस चीज का, वैसा ही क्या कर सकते हैं. नाइफ से कट गया हो, अभी क्या करें, नाइफ है ही कटने के लिए, छोड़ो. All variety. 28th. There are also some thinkers who believe that no one can ascertain the cause of distress by argumentation, nor know it by imagination, nor express it by words. O sage amongst kings, judge for yourself by thinking over all this with your own intelligence. So he threw the ball in the court of Parikshit Maharaj only. After telling, some say he is the cause, he is the cause, that is the cause, you only decide. That means what? In one sense, they are saying either we are not suffering or we are suffering also, but we don't mind because we know Krishna has sanctioned it. We don't blame anyone. Dharma only can be like that. All of us will immediately blame this person, this situation, that situation. It's very easy to blurt out and immediately point out this is the cause of my disturbance, or he is the one, because of him I am suffering. All that. Yes.
Prabhuji, the Parikshit Maharaj, the king, for example, the temple president comes in an ashram and he sees some things are going wrong here, and he asks some devotees. So he gives us such kind of answer. No one knows what is.
That is because the pain is inflicted to him, Prabhu.
Achha.
When you see other devotees are in trouble, it is your duty to tell.
Cow is also there. He's not talking about cow also.
No, cow also. That will come, I think, little ahead. But cow also is, in one sense, speaking. When bull is speaking, it's like both are speaking.
Okay.
It's like that. So it is your duty to help other devotees. Then we can tell. But when you are in trouble, see, when we blurt out, when we are only in trouble, how much we are blurting out when other devotees are in trouble? Very less.
So in that sense also, if I found to be doing less performance in bhakti and less enthusiastic in bhakti, for example, and my counselor comes and he asks that you found to be less enthusiastic, what is going on? What's the problem? And he's facing some problems with some devotees.
He's facing or you are facing?
For example, I'm not facing. For example, I am saying. So I am telling one devotee's name that I am having trouble with him. So I am kind of not enthusiastic, and this happened, that happened. So is it revealing to the counselor becoming means exactly a blaming?
Blaming whom?
Blaming that devotee. Because
even if you may be blaming, the counselor who is wise and mature, he will not immediately blurt out at that fellow. He will call him or something. He'll find out the truth. He will hear the other side of the truth also, or other side also, other party also. He will not be immature fellow. Otherwise, what is the difference between counselor and counselee?
So solving problem.
Counselor is a very immature fellow, and counselor is not that much, but he's also sufficiently immature fellow. He cannot be a counselor then.
So such kind of thing comes under Guhyam Akyati Pruchasi or not?
Guhyam Akyati Pruchate means scriptural discussion.
Means I am feeling.
However, how we have taken the counselor to be a problem solving machine only.
Okay.
Bhakti Thakur's one statement is there. I was reading today morning. Where is it? So he says, it will come in future discussion. Now I may not get it immediately. But he says something like that only. A guru is not a problem solving machine or something like that. Guhyam Akyati Pruchati doesn't have this meaning. Ideally, Guhyam Akyati Pruchati means you inquire about dharma. Pranipat, Pariprashna and Seva. So Pariprashna, that is Guhyam Akyati. You inquire from switch master how to make advancement. Just like Bhakti Thakur was asked every time by Prabhupada, second to 13th time on, how can I serve you? This is Guhyam Akyati Pruchati. Not that, oh, Guru Maharaj, my son is not obedient, my daughter is running away from somebody and I have got some problem in financially. This is not ideally Guhyam Akyati Pruchati. Ideally, it is scriptural. As much as scriptural discussion happens, that much this kind of problem. Now you see na Parikshit and Shukdev, what is happening? Counseling and Guhyam Akyati Pruchati is happening. And Parikshit is on the verge of death, only 7 days remaining. And he's not saying, oh, Shukdev Goswami, do you know some Mrityu, Mrityu Vijay, Mrityunjay mantra? If it is there, please tell me. Otherwise, tell at least the person who knows the Mrityunjay mantra. He's not very cool. So let us follow in the footsteps of Parikshit Maharaj. And hopefully we'll get some Shukdev Goswami also who will be ready to guide us. Okay, this is which one? 20th, no? Basically, this bull and cow, they are saying, and Lord has sanctioned this, no need to worry. So towards the end, Vishwanath Thakur said, the Lord as the cause is absolute. Bhishma has said already that the plan of the Lord, however, is impossible for anyone to understand. That aho kashtam aho anyayam yadyuyam dharmanandanaha. What is the next line? And last line is Vipra Dharma Chutashraya. The third line is Jivitam Narhati something. Klishtam, not Klishtam. Okay, so he said, how kashtam? What miseries you Pandavas went through? Anyayam, what kind of injustices were inflicted to you? Yadyuyam Dharmanandana, though you are the sons of Dharmaraj. How come? Some sinful fellow suffering, it's understood. But you fellows, very complicated. But Vipra Dharma Chutashraya. Klishtam only what is it? Okay, I was correct then. Jivitam Narhati Klishtam. Vipra Dharma Chutashrataya. Still you are protected, isn't it? What is the written there? Because you are sheltered by Vipra Dharma Chutashrisham. So you see, he's saying, even Bhishma is saying, he's a Mahajan. And he says also that pointing out to Krishna, what is that? Sakshad Eshavai Bhagavan Sakshad Adyo Narayana Puman Gudas Charati. One line is the third line. Gudas Charati Vrishnishu, that is fourth. But before that, Adyo Narayana Puman. Puman, if you write. Mohayan Maya Lokam Gudascharati Vrishnishu. So don't think this Krishna to be some ordinary cousin brother of yours. He is the even source of Narayan also. And he is moving around in the human beings among the Vrishnis as one of them. But he is the supreme source of even Narayan also. So Krishna and Krishna's plans are inconceivable in one sense. That's what we hear from Guru. But the conclusion of all the discussion of any suffering that we go through is that verse, Tatyanukampam. That's it. "21. Suta Goswami said, O best among the Brahmins, the Emperor Parikshit, thus hearing the personality of religion speak, was fully satisfied, and without mistake or regret, he gave his reply." He understood. This cannot be some ordinary person. Has to be dharma only. 22nd. The king said, O you who are in the form of a bull, you know the truth of religion, and you are speaking according to the principle that the destination intended for the perpetrator of irreligious acts is also intended for one who identifies the perpetrator. You are no other than the personality of religion. Dharmam bravishi dharmagya. Dharma asi vrusharup dhruka. Dharma asi, you must be dharma only. Rupa, you have taken the form of a bull. Druk. Prabhupada's purport. A devotee's conclusion is that no one is directly responsible for being a benefactor or mischief monger without the sanction of the Lord. Therefore, he does not consider anyone to be directly responsible for such action. So the problem is we are not devotees. We think I am a devotee, but we are not behaving according to the codes of conduct for a devotee. For a devotee, in the middle of the purport, for a devotee, the identifier is equally a sinner, like the mischief monger. So, let's see. So, what happens? Like A was troubled by B. So, if you take B as the, what do you call it, mischief monger, which he is in one sense, so you become also mischief monger because you thought he only is the cause. He is not the supreme cause. He is one cause. There could be some other causes, and Krishna is the cause of all causes. But certainly, as I said, when it is to others, then we should certainly help, especially in devotee community. But when it comes to ourselves, then we should know it's my own misdeeds that I'm suffering by. A devotee has no suffering at all. Please repeat. So, are you that devotee? You could be one. No, please be one. A devotee has no suffering at all because so-called suffering is also God's grace for a devotee who sees God in everything. For Parikshit only it is said, na? Dvija Shapa Rupena, something like that. I think he says later on, 19th chapter. Oh, Krishna has come in the form of this curse by this Brahmin. Dvija Shapa Rupena. Prabhupada, when he was in Kolkata in Second World War going on, and Kolkata was the capital of the British, so it was being bombed every now and then, so much blast and all that. So some people came running, some of the Kolkata residents, Abhay Charan's friends. They said, Abhay, come quickly. There is bomb shelter nearby. Let us take shelter over there, and we'll be saved from these bombs. Like that. Abhay said, you go ahead. I'll come later. And Abhay had no plan to go there. He was, what to call that, frying puris for Lord, the kachoris. Okay, you can tell your favorite item. Somebody can say rasgulla he was making. Somebody can say Srikhand actually. I mean, jalebi. Okay, whatever item you like, that's what Prabhupada was roasting or cooking or whatever. So then he said, nahi, you go. So what Prabhupada saw, these bombs are Krishna coming. Keshavadhreta bomb sharira. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Prabhupada says bombs are Krishna only coming. So if Krishna wants to come and embrace me fully, let him come. Or he wants to have background music for my this function, festival of cooking bhoga for the Lord. The background music can go on. Either way, Krishna only is there. Krishna is never harmful. Krishna is always merciful. And Krishna is always fair. Krishna is never cruel. Krishna is never unfair. This is quoted by Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita 3 times. Vedanta Sutra. I don't remember the verse. I don't remember the number, but he says, Vaishamme nirgrunne va na sapekshatvat yathahi darshayati. You see 4.14 purport, 5.15 and 9. I don't remember, but you can see. Same verse. Why in the same Bhagavad Gita 3 times it has to be quoted? Because this is very important. One who understands this, He is a devotee in his sense. Otherwise, we will be blaming Krishna. Directly or indirectly, we all blame Krishna every now and then. Oh, why this happened? I got hurt. Okay, stone was there. Who kept the stone here? Okay, the manager kept or something. And ultimately, who cause of all causes is Krishna. So Krishna, because of Krishna, I got hurt. So whether grossly or subtly, in the deepest inner recesses of our heart, we blame Krishna like anything every now and then. And that's why we are not able to see Krishna everywhere, in a sense. We cannot realize him. Because we say that Krishna is a cruel, Krishna is unfair. When it comes to personal life, body, etc., then Krishna is cruel. And when it comes to people dealing with us, then we say Krishna is unfair. Why I am being given less privileges and he is given more privileges? Because Krishna is unfair. Management is unfair. And who is guiding our management devotees? Krishna. So Krishna is unfair. So this kind of blaming tendency will not lead to becoming pure devotees immediately. It will take a long time then. That's why one should not be blaming like that. Prabhupada says this Parikshit Maharaj saw or caught Kali in Africa. That's what Prabhupada said once. Earlier it was Kurukshetra that he came across what? Some others. That was different. Anyway, time is past. (23). We are lagging by some. No problem. Yes, any question? Here, so definitely Dharmaraj only is in the form of bull. How it is, I am also not sure that way. We have to read some other commentary. Here, at least, he has not mentioned about that. But he is considered father. And cow also gives milk, which is dharma only, is liquid religion. So unless she has that kind of relationship, the bull is dharma, the child cannot be dharmic. Mother and father are dharmic, that's why the child is dharmic. So she gives milk and he gives grains. And they lead to sustenance. Annat bhavanti bhutani, Krishna has anyway said. So Annat bhavanti bhutani. Anna only maintains us. So Anna is given. Certainly Parjanyat Anna Sambhava. But that Anna again still has to be, land has to be tilled, and that's what bull does. But technically I still don't know. Somebody knows? Or you find out and tell tomorrow. Anything online? Nothing. So we are lagging by 10 verses, but don't worry, we'll cover it up. We'll end here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंद।